Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Welcome now to Stock Trades. How's everybody doing today? Now, you may be like, whoa, something sounds different. That's because we upgraded our microphone. We upgraded our microphone. Can you tell the difference? Can you tell the difference? Can you guys hear me well? Let me see. I'm going to go here to listen to it. Let me see. I'm going to go here to listen to it. You borrowed the mic from Clover Earnings, huh? It actually sounds muffled. Ooh, I'm trying to pull in my inner Peter. Hello, how you doing today? All right, hold on. Let me yeah, it sounds just like your old one. Okay, let me see here. Let me fix it. Hello, hello, hello. How about now? It sounds a bit muffled. Yeah, it's a new microphone. So there's like a here, let me show you guys. Let me show you. It's like a little dial I'm looking at right now. Same. Okay, hold on. I got the Peter microphone. Hello, 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 hello. All right, let me see. How about now? Is that better? That's better. It's better? Okay. How about now? Better now? Okay, sounds good. All right. All right, guys. As you can see, small YouTube channel, so we don't have the, I'm the mic guy, I'm the camera guy, I'm doing all of it. I'm the programmer, I'm the coder, I'm the CFO, COO, COO of Al Stock Trades. So that's I'm doing all of it. So all right, I got that Pete's mic right. Awesome. All right, so we're all good. All right, okay. So the reason why I asked is because this is going to be a pretty important video, right? So let me make sure I put this here so it doesn't affect that. All right, so now we can go ahead and talk money. Okay. Tomorrow is Clover Health's earnings. I will be doing a live, so we have that. So I will be setting it up so people can talk on the chat and all this. So that'll be set. So that'll be good. Kind of my thoughts. Palantir, Hims, they all fell. But if you look at Palantir and Hims, they were really, they're popping hard, right? If you look at Hims year to date, let me give you kind of the rundown. Palantir year to date is up 64%. So of course it's going to fall a little bit, 9%. And then Hims is up also 66%. So of course it's going to fall. So I would say, Clover is slightly up. It's up 7%. So that's pretty good if you ask me, especially in a down market. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Yep, I'm going live. I'm going live on the earnings. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I think what would make sense to me in my mind is let the stock continuously fall from 3 to 380, 3 to 380, and let that be the new trading range to get retail investors to sell at 380 and to essentially buy back in at 3 until you pretty much clean sweep them, like what happened at $1.40 to $1.80. So I think that's kind of the idea here. I think just let it sit. Let it pretty much sit and just do that, right? So here are my thoughts for today's video. The coffee tastes like crap, honestly. I don't understand. Like, yeah. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. That's a shame. I love my coffee, but it's a shame. All right, whatever. Wait, sold one and got to go. You know, this is a Cartier. Like the Cartiers? It's nice, right? I like your gold Rolex, but come on, man, Cartier, man, you can't. This cart, right? No, we have a watch channel now on our platform, so no, I don't drink soy milk. I think whole milk. No, I'm just kidding. It's 2%. Yeah, speaking of pee, I had to clean the whole house yesterday. Let's go, Clove. What's going on, Sarah? What's going on? All right. So, as you know in the title of the video here, we have Clover Health's 20 million buyback. Think again, it's actually 36 million. A lot of people are going to say, "What the hell are you talking about, Al?" I don't understand what you're saying. And in this video, I'm going to make this pretty clear. Okay? So, let's go ahead and just show you. So, give me a moment. One momentum here. Where's that going to go? Oh, yeah. Try financial statements. Okay. So check this out, guys. So if you go to the try statement financial analysis and you type in Clove, okay? And you go to the cash flow statement. Again, this is part of our proprietary premium stock terminal. And you go into common stock repurchased. You could see that in 2024, they bought 18.26 million. Now, there is two different types of investors. There's investors that see that and will automatically assume that they used $20 million of their share repurchase buyback to make it 18.26. That's incorrect, because there's something called treasury stock. And what I'm about to do in this video is explain to you what that means and why we actually have $36 million potential. They're probably going to buy more of their shares in 2025 again, but as of right now, it's going to be guaranteed 36 million in the next 2 years. So let me explain where am I getting this number from. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to essentially be able to take this information and put it in our we have a new thing called chatbot interface where you put a document in and it'll be able to process the document. It's still not live yet. I'm still building it, but the problem is when you look at an annual 10K report, there's about 216 pages. And this is the annual report for fiscal year of 2024. And the issue is that if you were to copy this and put it in ChatGPT, it can't analyze the whole document. So let me give you an example. Let's open this up. Let's go to this. Wait, let's go to Clove. Let's go to preview. Let's hit select all, copy. And let me just show you. Let's go to ChatGPT. And let's say, how many treasury stocks did they buy in 2024? And you put this whole thing, and you press enter, and it says, this message you submitted was too long. Please submit something shorter. And the problem is it's very hard for you to analyze these large documents because, again, look at the scroll bar here. It's huge. This is huge. So what I'm building is the ability to do that, right? And not just that, just put in a ticker symbol, and then you could chat with the data. It's almost like the data becomes alive. So that's what I'm building. But in the interim, there's another way to get around this. Problem is, you have to pay. But as you know, we like to democratize financial information, and we like to democratize financial literacy because we are an educational platform. So to get your hands, and for folks that are part of our terminal, to get your hands on the SEC paper, you could go to the SEC website, or you could do a couple of commands from our platform. My favorite command is just look at the share float, and then just kind of select the document here. It'll take you to the most recent report. There's other ways. That's why I look at it. You could go and look at the annual 10K reports through opening up the help menu. Okay. But I'm not going to do that. This video is not about the tutorial. It's about how to analyze this document. So the question I asked, sadly, how many treasury stock did they buy in 2024? So let's copy this. Let's exit this, and let's exit this, and let's go ahead. So Adobe has this thing called AI Assistant. And if you click on the AI Assistant, let's clear the chat history, and let's start a new chat. Okay. And let's enter the question here. How many treasury stocks did they buy in 2024? And the beautiful part about Adobe, and again, you have to pay for this. You not only have to have an Adobe membership, you also have to pay for the AI feature. So don't worry, I paid for it, so I can teach this better, right? And it's honestly easier for me because I used to have to read these whole documents to find these things, and now I could just chat with the PDF, which is pretty impressive. I really like that. And it really makes people say, oh, AI, a lot of people that don't understand AI, they're like saying, well, AI is not really making us any money. That's bullshit. You don't know what you're talking about. It is. It's saving time, which means you'll be able to do more, which increases productivity. So let's go ahead and see if we can make this. Can we zoom in maybe? Full screen mode? Yeah. It's okay. I'm going to have to read. If you guys can't see, you may have to go on your computer to see this here. But I'll read it to you. So I asked the question, how many treasury stocks did they buy in 2024? And what it's doing now, it's pan scanning the document, and it's using something called optical character recognition. It's the same software that we're going to be using on our Stock Trades Premium terminal for the generative AI feature. This will be like a 5-10 year project, right? And it's thinking, and here it is. So it says in 2024, they bought 9 million shares of treasury stock and purchased 16.49. So let's be a little bit more specific. Where in the doc is this? So let's see if it can find me where in the doc. And again, this is going to be a long video because I'm going to discover this with you together. Even though I already know the answer, we're going to go in the discovery process so you could see kind of how due diligence looks like, because shit, takes time. Due diligence is not, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to clear the chat history. And I'm going to start a new chat, but I'm going to exit this. Then I'm going to quit the Acrobat reader because this document's open. I think it's interfering. Then I'm going to reopen the document again. And then I'm going to open up the AI feature. And then I'm going to ask the same question again. What is this? Yeah, that's fine. See, yeah, you see, it just needed to refresh. Okay. So now let's do it again. So it's scanning the whole document. And I would say it's pretty fast. You know, I mean, this is a 200-page document. That's pretty impressive. So let's let it do that, and then okay. Let's see if it works. Okay. How much money in treasury stock did they buy in 2024? So let's see. 372,000 shares, baby. This is the Cobra Kai of Coach Brian right here. How you doing? So yeah, we're just waiting for this right now. So what I wanted it to do, that's the thing with these AI features. There it is. Oh my God, finally. Okay. There's a little button here. You press it and it takes you to the exact document. I guess it's a hit or miss sometimes, but it did it yesterday, so finally did it. That's what I was hoping for. All right, now let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't wrap the text. Okay, that's fine. You might. I don't know if you guys can read this. I'm sorry if you can't, but yeah, I'll read it to you. So, financing activities. Net cash used in financing activities for the year ended in December 31, so the last day of 2024, of 17.4 million was primarily the result of the acquisition of 16.5 million in treasury stock and repurchase of 1.8 million of Class A common stock. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, what's the difference between treasury stock and what's the difference between the repurchase of 1.8 million? So what this basically tells you is they spent 1.8 million out of the 20 million of the repurchase program. So the question is, where is the 16 million coming from? That's them buying their own stock. If you don't remember, last year they actually bought 6.2 million of their stock in 2023. You just didn't see it. You didn't see it because you didn't know what to look for. Okay. Now, to prove to you this idea, let me explain. We go to the Clover Health relationship page. Here's the first quarter getting ready, right? I'm excited. We go to first quarter here, and we'll open up the earnings report, okay? This is Q1 of 2024. Now you could do a couple things here. You can, let's see, we'll ask it here. How much treasury stock did they purchase? Purchase. So we could go ahead and ask the question here, and it's going to go ahead and scan the document. This document's a little smaller, so it'll be faster, I bet. So here, let's see here. The document does not specify any actual purchases of treasury stock. However, it mentions that Clover Health's board of directors authorized the share repurchase program of the $20 million of the company's Class A common stock over the next 2 years. So here it is. It shows you. In addition, we are pleased to announce that the board of directors has authorized a share repurchase program of up to $20 million of Class A. Okay. But if you were to look down here, let's see if it's. They don't mention it. That's so wow. So that's fine. They have to mention it in Q2. So in Q2, right? So Q1, they said that they're going to have $20 million in buybacks. So now we'll ask the same question. How much of the treasury stock did they purchase? So we'll ask the same question. Okay, and let this AI think. This shows you the due diligence process, how long it takes. All right, let's see. So this, remember, Q2, they were profitable, right? So here it is. Clover Health purchased $4.805 million in treasury stock during the 6 months ended June 30th, 2024. Okay, I guess we could just submit. Okay, so 4.8, or let's say 4.8. We'll just look at 4.8. Where is this? I'm sure I can find it before the AI can help. Oh, wait. Whoa. Okay, you see that? Here it is. All right, so this is where the magic is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove this so we can zoom in. No, if I remove it, that's fine. I can still show you. It's fine. All right, so here is the repurchase of the common stock. I'm going to highlight this, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, they bought again, you have to understand this document, there's a lot of things I'm assuming you already know, but sometimes it's bad. So this, because I assume you guys all took the lifetime course so you guys can understand this, but here is the dollars in thousands. These are in thousands now, okay? So how many thousands are in a million, right? So 1,000 thousands are in a million in a way, right? So this is 1772. So that's you just got to divide by 1,000, guys, right? So that's $1.7 million that they bought of common stock, right? So for the first time ever, they bought $1.7 million of their own stock. But wait, there's more. What is this thing on the bottom here? Because the problem is they have to show you they bought their own stock, but they also did treasury stock acquired. They also bought $4.8 million of their own stock. Are you seeing what? So, by the way, Andrew, you must hate me. You must hate me, but I'm democratizing financial literacy here, okay? I had to say, I was being quiet. I put it on my stock terminal. I said, "Hey guys, take a look at this. Keep it, but clove to the moon. You have to open your big fat mouth, right?" So I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, right? So I'm gonna show you what this means. It right sounds fine. Oh, this is fire. This is fire. Are you ready for this, Dr. Patel? Are you ready for this? I was gonna be quiet, right? I was gonna be quiet about this, but let me explain. Because this goes back to accounting. I had this wonderful Indian professor in Eller for accounting. Very smart man. I love him so much that when he teaches, he does the head nod. By the end of the semester, I was talking like him. I was literally replicating everything about him. I love that guy. He taught me everything I know about accounting. I was during his exams, I wanted to freaking pull my hair out. I was pulling out my eyebrows during the exam. His exams were so tough. Oh my god! Oh god! I don't want to. Oh my god! I had to look at all the statements, financial sheets. It was a lot. So let me explain. So you see how effed up Clover is. So you see how in their second quarterly report they released this information and they put it under consolidated. Wait, no, not this one. Sorry, they put it under the third statement right here. They put it under cash flows. Now it's either they didn't do it here or I'm mistaken. So you could see, did they put a cash flow statement here? No, they don't. Damn, guys, you see how they play? You see how you see how these people play? Like they're playing you. I mean, it's a because they know retail investors don't know this stuff. All right, so let me explain to you, okay? Gun Show, if you're watching this, please watch this video because Gun Show is saying that he doesn't believe it's up to 30 mil. But let me explain, okay? So B-Rob, if you're watching this, please tag Gun Show, okay? So, please share this with everybody because I'm done keeping my mouth shut. So this is the first quarter of 2024. If you scan their quarterly report that is for investors, you can see that they give you a balance sheet, but it's selected. They can legally do this. It's called selected metrics. They select what they want you to hear. Okay. And then here's the consolidated statements of operations. Okay. Please get them here. Please. This is so important. Okay. And I don't know how to effectively communicate. We are on LinkedIn, right? Too. We are on LinkedIn. I need to fix it, but I think we're live on LinkedIn. Thanks to Melissa. Thank you, Melissa. And thanks to everybody. Oh yeah. This is the first time we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter, X at the same damn time. So you could see that they don't give you a real cash flow statement. They only give it to you here. And it shows that they purchased 1.7 million of the common stock, but they also purchased 4.8 million of the treasury stock. I'm at a bar with Cinco de Mayo, and I told everyone to shut up. Alazon, I love you, man. I love you. Right? Shout out to Melissa, Mark, Ashley, and Zach. What's going on? All right. So they bought 1.7 million. So 1.77 million. So we can round to say 1.8, right? So that means how much is left of the repurchase? 20 minus 1.77. So $18.23 million is left of the repurchase program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a document so we can all follow this. So for the people that join after, they're not going to get this. But the people that are logged on right now, that are locked in, you guys are going to understand what's going on, right? Again, it's all knowledge is power. So, they hate that I'm showing this. You know what I mean? This is the power. This is why we created this channel, right? They hate us, man. I'll tell you something. They hate us, right? Because they can't be us, right? You know what I mean? All right. So this is funny. Okay, so let's do. Okay, so let's do this. So Q1. So these are the earnings paper. Okay, let's make this bold. Let's make it I don't know 18 so we can see, maybe a little bigger because I like big. Okay. Hate us because they ain't us. Thank you. Okay, I'm not hip. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, so all right, so let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so for Q, and you guys can tell I'm enjoying myself. I love teaching. Okay, I love academia, right? So I love teaching. Al says he likes it big. Good. Wait, what? Oh, I thought you're talking to Gun Show. God damn you, man. I'm like, yes, I like this big. This is, by the way, guys, in all seriousness and laughter, this is a big deal. Okay. All right. So Q1, what happened? Let me say 2024 Q1. They did two purchases. Sorry. Q1, they showed us nothing. Just announced the buyback offer. That's all they did. Let me make it a little smaller. That's all they did. Remember here, they just announced it for Q1. In addition, we are pleased to announce that our board of directors has authorized a share repurchase program of up to $20 million in the next 2 years. So that's all they did. 2021, they announced it. but they didn't show us they bought any treasury stock. Let me show you that's a bunch of baloney. So if you go to our tri-statement financial analysis, you go to quarterly, you fetch the data, you go to the common stock repurchase, and you could see in Q1 of 2024, they bought $3.36 million of treasury stock. You can see it right here. In fact, you can graph the repurchase. Let's graph it. So it's a negative number because they're buying, right? So you can see how these numbers are becoming more negative. They're buying back more of their stock. Okay. So let me explain. So Q1, they actually bought 3.36 million. But the problem is if you go here, they don't show you that. They don't show you that in the consolidated of cash flows. But if you go here, it says they bought 4.8. Our platform says 3.22, right? And I think it's the way it's parcellated, I think it's shooting it to 4.89 here, which is what this 4.8 is. So I think it pushes it back. So you have altogether 4.8 plus 1.7, add that, and you get 6.5 million in Q. So now let's go to Q2. So Q2 2024, they said that repurchase, this is from the repurchase thing they told us. 1.77 mil out of the 20 million. Treasury. But then they also showed us they also showed us I don't want to leave that. They also showed us they bought 4.8 mil. So in total, they bought 6.5 mil. 6.5. By Q2 of 2024. I mean, guys, this is bare bones research. There's nothing fancy about this. Just a freaking Google Doc and a bunch of cool data. We're just going to underline this, make it look like we're professionals, right? Make it look good, right? So there it is. Okay. So then Q3 2024. Now let's see what happens in Q3. So we go back to their website, we go to Q3, and we hit this. Peter must hate me right now. Okay. So now let's go ahead and ask the AI the same question. Did they buy any of their stock back with the treasury share? Let it load. And then let's see. By the way, if you like this content and want more of this content, and if you want others to see this, please smash that like button and subscribe. It does help with this thing called YouTube algorithm. Okay. So here it is. We can say, where is this? It looks like they did purchase about 9.6 treasury during the 9-month period. So we could go ahead and find this. There it is. So watch. So now this gives you 2024. It tells you it adds up thus far in 2024. How much have they purchased? So in 2020, so Q3, they spill you the beans. They tell you the truth. So now let's go back to this Google Doc. So they say for repurchase stays the same at 1.77 million. Does that make sense? because this is not rocket science, guys. Look, it's the same 1.77 million. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed from Q2. Let me exit this so we can zoom in. Okay, that's too far. It hasn't changed. It's the same. You see how it's the same? What has changed though? What happened to the treasury stock in Q3? It went to $9 million. Let me highlight this. And you can see that they bought $5 million the year before. See? Again, just listen to what I'm saying, and I promise it's going to make sense. Just follow me along here, okay, guys? If you have any questions, you are dumb if you don't ask any questions. If you have any questions, you better ask questions. If you don't ask questions, then what the hell are you doing? You're wasting your time. You better damn ask questions here. I encourage questions. Okay? So here's treasury stock, okay? Like seriously, take advantage of this. Ask questions. Because others will have your questions. If you don't understand this, then you better ask questions, please. Okay? I want you to, by the time you finish this video, I need you to understand this. Okay, so here's treasury stock acquired. So now they have 9.69 million. So we'll just say 9.69 million. So in treasury, we could say they went from 4.8 million to 9.69 million. But the problem is they don't give you the difference of how much they bought. So how do you find the difference? Well, you just take 9.69 minus 4.8. And that'll give you, Google doesn't do it for me. That's fine. It gives you 4.89. So what that means? Meaning they bought 4.89 million in Q3 of 2024. So now let's go back to our tri-financial statement. So if you go to the tri-financial statement, what did they buy in Q3 of 2024? They bought 4.89. Do you see that? Do you see how our proprietary Stock Trades terminal is able to tell you how much they bought? It does the math for you. You understand what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? They bought 4.89 million. And because, let me remove this intrinsic value right now. That's not the main discussion right now. This is, so what does that tell you? That tells you in Q1, let me see. Why? Okay, go. So now let's pause and let's they're good. Ask questions. Ask questions. So okay, sorry if I'm like too aggressive or look crazy. I'm very passionate about it. I'm very passionate about this, guys, because if you understand this, you understand how the world works, right? And you'll be able to make money and live happily ever after. So let me ask you questions. Sorry, let me answer the question. Why are they trying to hide this information? And what happens to the stock price if it's known? It's a good question. So if you speak to Clover Health, they're going to say, well, we're not hiding it. We have it on our annual 10K report, and we are obliged to report it, and it's in our accounting. But you see how they don't talk about it in the earnings call? You see what I'm saying? They don't want to put attention to it. Why do you think the stock price has been shooting up in Q2? Seriously, guys, listen. This is going to be a long live. We got what? We got 84 people listening on YouTube and 146 people listening on X. We got a total of 230 people, okay? Let's take our time today and let's seriously just between mano to a mano, let's just analyze this and have an academic exercise, okay? So when the company purchases treasury stock, wouldn't that actually lower the equity value of the company? So you're speaking about how it's reported in terms of the contra equity, and it's balanced out. Okay, the way it's the way it's reported. You're absolutely correct. But the thing is, what is treasury stock? It is, which we're going to get to that, right? First, we got to look at the mainframe of what they've done, and we'll see what it is. But they're essentially buying back their own shares right now. So you have to ask yourself, why are they buying back their own shares? Why? So they can later on be able to give back the shares to their employees instead of diluting shareholders as stock-based compensation. So the question is, why are they buying it now? Why? And it's because, what does it tell you? It tells you that they believe that their stock price is undervalued, right? That's what they're telling you indirectly. So let's give me a moment, because this is going to be a long live. I'm going to take a short intermission because my coffee sucks. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be getting some water. Just one moment.
Albert Allen's got the secrets in his hand. Retail heroes taking over this land. Trading stocks with a master plan. Fortunes rising on the Clover brand. Numbers rolling, deals never stop. Bulls are charging, markets gonna pop. Albert's wisdom higher than the top. With Clover Health, we'll hit the jackpot. Fortune calls, Albert leads the way. Retail winners here to seize the day. Clover's Health, dollars gonna sway. In this game, no more bills to pay. Through the highs and lows, we stay strong. Albert's voice guiding us all along. Clover's growth, we're playing like a song. Investing right.
I'm back. Okay, so just wanted to drink some water, guys. Okay, because this is going to be a long one. Okay. All right. So, B-Rup, I'm going to get back to your question, but it signals confidence. Okay. So now let's go back to Q1 and let's work our way forward. So Q1, they don't show you that they're buying any of their stock back in terms of treasury. The only thing they say is that we're going to be buying back $20 million. Okay. But they don't tell you anything. If you go to our terminal, it says that they actually bought $3.36 million of their treasury stock. Huh? So our terminal is saying, so I'm going to just put this here and say terminal says 3.36 million for Q1. Okay, so Q2, they said they bought 1.7 million and then one of their own stock. That's out of the 20 million. And then treasury stock, they got about 4.8 million. So 1.7 out of the 20, and treasury is 4.8. In total, they bought 6.5 million by Q2 of 2024. And in Q3, it says the 1.7 million stayed the same, but now it's 9.6 million. So to find the difference, the repurchase stayed the same at 1.77. The treasury went from 4.8 million to 9.69 million. And the net difference was 4.9 million, which goes back to our terminal that says 4.89 here. So the question is how much did they buy of their own stock in Q2 from Treasury? To find that, our terminal said 3.36. So what we have to do is we have to take 4.8 minus 3.36, which gives you 1.44 million. So that's the net. Net, they bought 1.44 million in Treasury. Treasury and repurchase are almost like the same thing. They're both buying shares, one's for different roles. Okay? So they spent about 1.44 million. I don't care about this one right now, but you could see that they bought 1.44 million and then they increased their buying at 4.989. Interestingly, though, Q2 didn't include that. So that's why they bought more. They bought more when it was around 70, 80 cents. That's why they bought here, I think. But it was also low here. So let's remove that for right now. In total. So going backwards, Q1 2024, they showed us nothing. Okay? They showed us nothing. They just announced a buyback of 20 mil. That's all they did. Our terminal, though, says that they bought 3.36 million in Q1. Okay? And then the Treasury, so in Q2, they finally said, we bought 1.77 million out of the 20 mil. But in Treasury, they have a total of 4.8 million. A change from 3.36 to 4.8 is about 1 point something, right? So they bought in $1 million more back into their Treasury. But in total, they did about 6.5 million in total purchases of their own stock. In Q3 2024, the repurchase stayed the same, and they went from 4.8 to 9.69, with a net difference is 4.89, meaning that they bought 4.89 of their stock. So what do you think happened in Q4? So in Q4, our terminal says they bought $6.8 million. The last year in Q4, they only bought less than $1 million of their shares, 0.83. They bought $830,000 of their own shares. So they went from $830,000 in Q4 of 2023 to $6.8 million in Q4 of 2024. So they literally almost 7x'd their buying of the Treasury from Q4 of 2024 to Q4 of 2023. Sorry, Q4 of 2023 to Q4 of 2024. So let's see if we can get that from the documentation. Let's see if they showed us. You click on this, and now you go back up here, and then you go in, and let's see. Let's just kind of scroll down here, and let's see. Or you know what? Let's see if we can. Let's ask the AI the question. Let's see if the AI assistant can help us. I'm going to drink some water. All right. Let's see. All right. It looks like there it is right here. Where is this? So let's see. Found it. So here is the repurchase of the common stock. So this is their. You remember? Can I zoom in more? I can zoom in more. This is fine. This is for. This is. This is for 2024, right? You can see how they've been always buying back their own stock, but they've been quiet about it, right? That's why I've been watching. I'm like, oh wow, they keep buying it back for their own purposes. That shows me that they've been doing it. But again, this is for the year end. This is the year in total, right? So they bought about $6 million of their own treasury stock, and then in 2022 they bought also $6 million. But for some reason, in 2024 something weird happened. They bought 16 million. So they increase their buybacks of their own treasury by 2.66x. So now let's look at treasury stock acquired. The treasury stock acquired now is 16.49 million. So now let's go back here and let's type in Q4 2024. For the repurchase, nothing happened. It stayed the same at 1.77 million. Let me check my email. Okay. 1.77 million, which I got from this number here. 1772, right? 1.77 million. The treasury, though, went from 9.69 million to 16.49. 16.49. So, how much of the treasury stock did they buy? To do that, you just take 16.49, subtract 9.69, and you get 6.8 million. Okay? And if you go back to the financial statement here, what does that say? 6.8. What I'm trying to teach you, what's going on, saying you're a CFA, this video, you're going to love this video, okay? What I'm trying to teach you is our platform does this calculation automatically for you. So you don't have to go through this litany of crap, right? But the point is I'm trying to teach you. Have you guys, hold on. Have you guys taken calculus before? Right? So you remember how like in calculus, they teach you how to find a derivative, but it's like the derivative, it's like a long, like f of, let me see if I remember, long way to calculate derivative. It's like some annoying equation. I've done it so many times. It's, yes, when the limit of h approaches 0, so let me show you what I'm talking about for all my nerds out there. When you take a derivative, you take, limit of h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x over h. The problem is that's the long way of calculating a derivative, right? But there's a short way. So what is the short equation? The short equation is, I'll just tell you, I can't find it. It's, let me see if I remember, n x to the n minus 1. And that's pretty much the same thing of that as our whole equation, right? Nope, did not take calculus. Yep, calc. So, Chant, you know what I'm talking about, right? Long way versus short way. If you haven't taken calculus, it's okay. It's just, think of this as your fucking, excuse my language. Oof. Think of this as your housekeeper, okay? Pretend you have your own housekeeper, okay? You don't feel like doing the dishes. You don't feel like doing the laundry. The stock terminal does everything for you, okay? Right? This is not calculus, right? Well, JH, I don't know if you've taken calculus, but I think you should understand the analogy here. There's a short way and long way of taking a derivative, right? Okay. No, I definitely agree with what you're saying, but I'm talking about actually doing the subtraction and doing it versus having the system do it for you. It's very easy. I mean, this is just gives it to you, and you could just look at it from year over year. Okay. So you can see here is that the treasuries, like for example, JH, did you know about this? Most people don't know about this, right? So the treasuries went from 9 point. So that's why I created the tri-financial statement. And then you can use the generative AI and all those other features, right? Yeah, my bad, right? Yeah. So overall, let's go back to that annual report. So now let's go back to that 10K. Remember that 10K I showed you? So you can see this is the 200-page document. This is the annual 10K report. So now that we went through quarter over quarter over quarter, let's actually summarize kind of what we found. So altogether, this is the ending result. Okay. The ending result for the fiscal year of 2024 is that Clover purchased 16.49 million of their treasury, but only purchased 1.77 million of their repurchase. So that means because if you most people are going to argue and they're going to say, well, Al, don't you have to add these and that's close to 20 million? No, that's not right. Because they announced their buyback in 2024 of first quarter. And if you look at the treasury stock acquired, they've been buying their own stock since 2022. It just so happens that this year they bought 16 million worth, which is almost 2.66x, right? Okay, I get it. My bad. No, so you see what I'm trying to say? There's like a short way and a long way of doing it, right? This is a longer way, but the problem is it's important to do it the long way so you understand. So good. Why are they loading up on their treasury stock? Okay. So excellent question. Excellent question. Okay. Excellent. Comps, right? But we will see. Okay. So now that we have this, I'm going to star this and I'm going to get to this question. Let me answer one more question, which will help relieve the question I will anticipate from Gun Show Trader. If I go from annual, and instead of look at the quarterly now, look at the annual, look at the stock repurchase. In 2022, they bought 6.36 million. In 2023, they bought 6.22 million. In 2024, they bought 18.26 million. So you can see it's been increasing. You do the enhanced AI analysis and you go all the way here to cash flow. It went up 200%. I know it says negative because the number is negative. You take the absolute value. There's a big change, okay? So the question now is it different? So now let's go here and let's ask the question. How many of the $20 million share repurchase buyback did they use in 2024? So I'm going to go ahead and ask this question here. Okay. This is weird. It's not a... Huh. Make sure. Oh, because of this. Freaking Adobe. Let me see. Okay. There. So, let's go. Wait, what happened to Dr. Patel's question? All right. So I'm going to put this on the bottom left. And let me just parcelate this because before we answer your question now, I have to send it to the people so they understand the difference between what's a treasury stock and what's a repurchase buyback program. So I asked the question. I said, how many of the 20 million share repurchase buyback did they use? It said in 2024, Clover Health repurchased 10.8 million shares as part of their 20 million share buyback program using 1.7 million of their authorized amount. So you can say, how much do they have left now? You see how it's only giving me 1.7 million, not the 16 million that they use in treasuries, because treasuries and the repurchase are two different things. So if you were to ask me now, 20 million minus 1.77, this is how much they have left. They have about 18.23 million left to buy back more of their stock. And it said up to. So if the stock price continues going up, they might not even have to do all that, right? So let's see what they answer the question. So it says here, as of December 31st, 2024, Clover Health had 18.2 million and 9.1 million shares remaining from the 20 million authorized share repurchase. So where is this? So let's see if we can find a where. That's why I love this, and we'll have this now on our platform. Let me drink some water, because it helps you go through 200 pages. So it's thinking. Okay. Oh my God, this is amazing. Are you ready? So I'm going to highlight this. You see how the AI highlights it? I'm going to highlight it now, and I'm going to exit the AI, and I'm going to zoom in here, and we're going to say, as of December 31st, 2024, there was $18.2 million available for repurchase of what? Of what? Of their common stock. Get it? So where did this 18.2 come from? Get it? 18.23? They took 20 million, subtracted from 1.77, which means that we still have $18.23 million left to buy more Clover. Are you seeing the split here? Because people are going to say, well, Al, they bought 16.49 million here. That's different. Okay. So then now we can open up the AI assistant. So now let's go ahead and say, so you're telling me treasury stock and the repurchase program are two different entities. Okay. Let's enter that. And then once we connect those two dots together, Dr. Patel, then we will be able to answer your question. Because I just, from my experience, I think that's the progression of how people are going to think. I assume that's going to be the logical progression of when it's going to split. Then they'll understand. Then the next question would be, because you already got there. You're like, okay, got it. Two different things. But some people have not. Then they're going to ask, okay, so then what's going to be used for? So it says here, treasury stocks and repurchase programs are indeed two distinct entities. Treasury stock refers, you know what, let me just take a screenshot here. And let me just put it here so we can read it together. You know what I mean? It's easier. Okay. Treasury stock and repurchase, because it's hard to see for you guys. Yeah. Treasury stock and repurchase programs are indeed two distinct entities. Treasury stock refers to shares that the company has already repurchased and holds in its own account. These shares are no longer outstanding and do not count towards voting rights or dividends. As December 31st, 2024, Clover held 18.7 million shares of treasury stock valued at $30.99 million. The repurchase program, on the other hand, is authorized by the company's board to buy back shares from the market up to a certain dollar amount or number of shares. As December 31st, 2024, Clover Health had 18.2 million remaining of their 20 million. So we still got 18 million left of share repurchase program authorized in May 6, 2024, which was Q1, which is when they announced. Get it? Which allowed the company to repurchase shares over a 2-year period. You see how powerful that is? Okay, so now let's see if we can get, so now I'm going to copy your direct question, Dr. Patel.
Why are they loading up on the treasury stock?
I'm going to put it here. Why are they loading up on the treasury stock? So now I'm going to see if the AI can answer it. Okay. I'm doing this on purpose. So I want to show you guys how you can incorporate AI into your own analysis. The problem is you got to know how to ask the right questions. So now let's go ahead, and this is nice because it scans the document and it shows and it cites. Although the share repurchase program is intended to enhance long-term shareholder value, we cannot provide insurances this will occur, right? And then you could go here. Repurchase may be made through the open market or accelerated share repurchase, and then we go here. Yeah, it's good enough here. So let's see how we can. We go here, and now this answers Dr. Patel's question. So the document does not explicitly state why Clover Health is increasing treasury. However, this is what it is, and I agree with. I already looked. I read through it quickly right now, and I agree. So boosting shareholder value by reducing the number of outstanding shares, share repurchases can increase earnings per share, EPS, and potentially raise the stock price. Signal confidence. A share buyback can signal to the market that the company believes its stock is undervalued, demonstrates confidence in its future prospects. Flexibility in capital management. Treasury stocks can be reissued later for purposes such as employee stock compensation plans, right? Acquisitions or raising capital. So why is that important? Well, if a stock goes to like $25 for like 90 days, Andrew Toy and Vivek get like compensation plan. Well, this can be used to give them that money. So if they have around, let's say $30 million, I think, what is it? They got what? 16? I don't know. They like, I think it was $30 million. Think about 30 mil, let's say. And if the stock price now divide by 3.3, and if the stock price now, let's say, goes to let's say the stock price goes to $25. That's about 7 times 7. Then that will turn into $210 million. You see? So, okay. Okay, so we go here. And by the way, I just want to say this is pretty cool. Let me show you guys. We got about 99 people listening on YouTube and 202 people listening on X. So that's impressive. Thank you guys for the support. Let me see here. So we answered this question. 4, reducing dilution. Repurchasing shares can offset dilution caused by stock-based compensation or convertible securities. 5, returning capital to shareholders. Share buybacks are an alternative to dividends for returning excess capital. Okay. So I hope that answers the question. Now I'm going to go down and look through the comment section because they think its value is more. Okay, good. Now I'm going to take your comment, Sing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up LinkedIn. I'm going to open up LinkedIn. I'm going to open up Peter. I got to think. How do I look for a post? Is there a way to search? Let me see. Let me see. Benjamin Graham undervalued. LinkedIn. Anything? You're really gonna make me sift through all of your stuff, Peter? Come on, Peter. Benjamin Graham. Is LinkedIn smart enough to? It's so annoying. Okay, fine. I'll figure it out. All right, I'm just. Damn LinkedIn. All right, fine. I'll just go through it here. Hold on. Hold on, guys. There's a specific post I think that will help us elevate the discussion of this YouTube live we have. Mhm. God, man, all these photos, man. Damn. Looking through all these photos, man. It's okay. He looks good. He's good looking. He reminds me of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the librarian. You know what I mean? So, you know, he's really good looking too. Jamie, it looks good. Yeah. Yeah. I've looked up to these people for a long time, you know? I don't think it's a picture of himself though when he posted it, right? Yeah, we just gotta go through it real quick. You see, Peter, this is the thing, Peter. If you use pictures that are associated with the actual, there it is, like this. Excellent. We found it. We found it. Let me send this. Let me copy the post and let me go here. Let me go to Research Edge. Let me post it here and let me pin it for myself so I don't have to waste everyone's time. All right. So, Peter, 10 months ago, he was talking about the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett. And he was talking about his adept at identifying undervalued companies led to significant returns. So he talks about um, Benjamin Graham, okay? And he talks about finding undervalued stocks, okay? So that's exactly what Singh is getting at. And because of this is when I saw him talk like this, you guys have to understand that when it comes to our Al Stock Trades platform, if you go back to the beginning and go to our platform on our website and actually go in, I got to fix that. I got to fix something. I got to fix this here. If you go to our website here and go all the way down here, what is this? Merging both fundamental and technical analysis. What is this? Who is this? Benjamin Graham, guys. Who is this? Benjamin Graham. That's how I invest. So once I saw that this person who happens to be the CFO of Clover talk like this, then it's very clear that this guy Peter, the CFO of Clover, he ran his own intrinsic value calculation. So he arrived to the same conclusion that I have arrived to, and all of you, part of the lifetime access, who've calculated the intrinsic value of Clover. Okay. All right. Let's so essentially they're buying the shares back cheaper. Good. Profit from when bought, when they sell. Yes. Where do they get all the extra money to buy these shares? Excellent. Excellent question. Excellent question. Where do they get all the extra money to buy these shares? Excellent. So to answer your question is they get it from operational cash from operations. I misspoke from my last live. I said it was like at midnight, so I'm sorry. It was I said cash operational expenses. That doesn't make any sense, right? Cash flow from operations. Because Clover was OCF positive. Let me show you. So if you look at Clover, you could see how here on our premium stock terminal, you could see how they turned operational cash flow positive in 2024 and free cash flow positive in 2024 on our AI summary analysis. And you can see they got the double-headed dragon. We just want the triple-headed dragon, which is net income needs to be positive. And they were positive for one quarter in Q2 of 2024, which if you can load them, you can see it here. This little blue thing here. This is net income. Sorry, no, this one here, 7.4 million, which is right here. So they used money from operations to essentially fund that. But what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and let's take this because I'm trying to teach you guys kind of how to do this, right?
Where do they get all the extra money to buy these shares?
So now let's go ahead and enter it here and let's see what the AI says, which scans the document. So my apologies, not operational cost, operational cash flow from operations. So the answer to your question, let's go ahead and do here. I haven't looked at this one, so I'm going to see if I agree with it. Let's see. Okay, so cash reserves. Company uses the cash. Okay, cash equivalents. That's true. I agree with that. Operating cash flow, which is what I just told you right now. OCF, right? Which is what this is here. Right here. Operate. You can't see it. Sorry. Operating cash flow, which is right here. Debt financing. Some companies may borrow funds. No, they have zero debt. They didn't do that. Proceed from asset sale. They can sell their assets. This just gives you a way, but you could track it if they sold their assets or not. You can. It's all trackable. But that's what I assume they got it from. Okay. And it's so you have to think about it. If a company went ahead and out of all they could do with their money, they buy back their treasury. That to me is a weak. Do not want a growth stock to do that. But the fact that a growth stock is doing that should like literally signal like God's, synaptic impulse should go through your brain to make you think and to say, if a growth stock is doing this, it means that they really know that they're truly undervalued. And they are, because it's IPO'd SPAC'd at $10. They did their secondary offering at around $5. It's cheap. It's below that. Okay. Let me go through questions here.
The price will never be cheaper, so they can't buy now and award later when expensive.
Exactly. These prices are so cheap.
To indicate to investor that this is not the price they have as its intrinsic value.
Exactly. To indicate to the investor that this is not the price they have as its intrinsic value. Absolutely. So Rafiki, in the short term, you cannot tell if a stock is going to go up or down. Whoever tells you that is lying. You could see from momentum and breadth, I think that the stock market's slowly going back up. So I do believe in the next 12 months, we are going to be higher. But like to go ahead and to say, is a stock going to go up or low tomorrow? Yeah, it's earnings. It can. But again, it's whoever tells you and they're confident, they're bullshitting you. And you know me. I have access to over 2.5 billion outputs of institutionally graded data. I have billionaires purchase the platform. And I'm telling you, I don't know. And whoever tells you that they do know, they're lying to you. Okay. And that's not what we do here, right? I'm going to have the biggest tent behind Wendy's when Clove tanks tomorrow and we lose it all. I am claiming the tent spot next to Al. I love this. No, we really got to bring some tents and put it in our presidential suites in the hotel. We have the tents in the hotel room, right? Right. I love this. Yeah, get. Who knows, guys? We either are gonna be eating caviar tomorrow, or we're gonna get our tents. Right? I sold today, and I'm gonna think about it and jump back in. Right? Oh man! Instead of a Rolex, I bought a big tent at Costco. I love it. To be quite honest with you, I think I would be a little shocked because that's a pretty big increase, right? But I do like it, right? If Al had a gold chain, he would look like Knight of what is that? Knight of the Roxbury? What the hell is this, guys? This guy here? This guy. I've never seen this movie ever in my life. Is it fun? Let me see this. Oh man, this looks good, man. Oh, I like that. Which one's me? This guy here with the eyeballs? This guy's a funny haircut. Oh, you guys are hilarious. He looks like if I don't pay him all his money by Friday, he's gonna break my legs. Oh no, no. This must be a funny movie though. I like Will Ferrell's in here. Damn, he looks young. Well, I'm gonna take this and put it on to a different thing, and I'm going to enjoy this. That's my King Buffett. Love you. Right? Salute to you. Thanks. I appreciate you. We need a night of the Rubrex music pumping in the background. I gotta watch the movie. Al, what do you think is going to happen on earnings? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But what I will tell you is what I'm looking for is operational cash flow positive. Right? I'm looking for free cash flow positivity. Let me think. We got a bunch of moon boys in here. Y'all need to stay grounded. You will be severely disappointed. When B-Rob is telling you this, you know this is something, right? Let's see. 4 is the B-Rob. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and go through these questions real quick. I'll bet my tent on it. Oh, man. Yeah, honestly, though, I bet he did. Who knows, right? Al will be a millionaire, right? When Clove hits $5. No, imagine, right? In 100 years. Okay. Oh, yeah. Would a reverse split also increase share price? Yes. Yes. Okay. So I'm going through the comment sections right now. Okay. So, Dr. Patel, a reverse split, okay. So, there is a stock split and a reverse split. So, what does a reverse split do? So, let's say, yeah, your answer is correct. Reverse split increases the share price, right? Because it's a reverse. So let's give example. Tesla back in 2021 or something, 2022, it went up to like $3,000. So what they did is, Apple did it too, is they did a stock split, which means that you took one share and they split it, right? And depending how much they split. Why? Because it makes the share count lower. Now, does it really matter? No, but it shows to dumb money investors that, oh, this stock is cheap, right? People don't know what market cap is. They don't know what market cap is. And I'll give you an example of how people don't know what market cap is. In fact, let me just do it now since we're on the top. I mean, might as well. Let me open up the political channel. This will get political, but I mean, it's a good example. And again, this is an educational platform, right? So we should talk about this, because not universities are not talking about this, and universities are supposed to be the seekers of truth, but it's not anymore, right? So let's go ahead and figure this out. Okay, good. Here it is. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go here. Stop the sharing of the screen. Share. Okay, go here. Okay. Again, guys, listen. This is going to be a long live. We have other things to talk about. This is going to be a mega live. Okay. We have a lot. These are, I wanted to show you this. Okay. So this is an interview from Trump and another lady. I'm going to play it and we're going to answer Dr. Patel's question here. Okay. Oh, yes. A reverse split, to answer your question real quick, a reverse split is the opposite of a stock split. So when the stock price goes too low, let's say it goes down to 20 pennies, they have to do an RS, which means that instead of 100 million shares, they now have 75 million or 50 million. They decrease the shares, right? So my apologies, Dr. Patel. It's opposite, right? A reverse split decreases the shares, right? So to answer your question, we could go ahead.
Would a reverse split also increase your price?
We could go ahead and pop it here, and let's see if the AI can catch it. Okay, a reverse split increases share price, but yes, it increases. It increases the share price, but I added to your question. it does decrease the outstanding shares. Okay, so let's add to it here. What does a reverse stock split do to the outstanding shares? What it does is it reduces the number of outstanding shares. What a stock split does is it increases it. Reverses, decreases it. Why? Because you want the number to be bigger. And the only reason why they do that is because if the stock price goes under $1, the NASDAQ has rules. Okay? Right? Rafik is like, it'll definitely hurt us, right? Okay, so now let's go. And the reason why I'm showing you this video is because it shows that people don't understand what market cap is, because you have to take the share price multiplied by the outstanding shares to get the market cap. So that's what market cap is, right? And I'm gonna show you the deficiency in people. Watch. And Trump he hints at this, and it's pretty funny. There is some controversy here, but it's good. I like controversy.
Ask you about something I don't think you've been asked much about, which is you've branded your own cryptocurrency. The coin's values actually surged recently after you announced that top holders would be invited to have dinner.
I don't even know that.
with
What
you
did
in
it surge to?
Washington. What did it surge to?
Yeah, what's it worth? You might as well tell me, because I have no idea.
Well, it surged. It surged. I will find it. Hold on one second. 5.2 or 58%. So 58%.
To what number?
That's not bad. 14.32.
What?
Per,
Billion?
no, dollars per cryptocurrency.
$1 billion?
No.
What's the number? I mean, what is the amount?
The meme coin's value hit a peak of 75.35 on January 19th.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything.
And that's before your inauguration, and then it surged.
Look, I'm in favor of crypto.
Okay,
You know
but
why
let me
I'm in
just ask
favor?
you, what do you say to those who argue that when they hear that, they worry you're profiting from the president?
Okay, so that's a different subject. That is a different subject we're gonna put here. Let me just talk about this. She's not able to answer the question. He's trying to ask her, okay, billion, it went up 58%. $14. I'm like, what does that mean? It went up, it went up 58% cryptos no, she said $14 and something cent per crypto. Yes, how many cryptos are there? Right? How many of the outstanding shares are there? And you multiply it by the price, right? So they don't know that, right? So let me dig deeper. Okay? Let me dig deeper, please. Okay? So to answer this question, let's go ahead and let's look at Palantir. Palantir is a $123 stock. Does that mean anything to you? It doesn't. You have to look at the market cap. It's a $292 billion market cap. Okay. Now, what's another stock that's $100? Do we know any stock that's 100? What's a stock right now that's $100? Do we know? Can someone help me? CVS stock is around Okay. This is okay. Okay. This is actually even better. All right. So Cigna is a $333 stock. Which is bigger? Palantir or Cigna? If I were to ask you right now, what is a bigger company? Cigna, a $333 stock, or Palantir, which is a $123 stock? This number doesn't give you crap. If you picked Cigna, you're dead in the water. You're wrong. The answer is Palantir. Cigna has a market cap of $90.28 billion. Palantir has a market cap of $292 billion. You see what I'm saying? So now let's go ahead and let's look at how much money Palantir is making. Palantir is only making 2.8 billion. Again, you have to understand there's 1,000 millions and a billion. If you don't get that, Lord have mercy to retail investors that trade in the stock market. You guys are going to lose if you don't understand this information, right? And this is why people like us will always win, right? So you have 2.8 billion. So how is a company making $2.8 billion worth $292 billion? Let's look at Cigna. Cigna is 90 billion market cap. Let's see how much it makes. Cigna makes $244 billion, and it's only worth 90 billion of market cap. Versus Palantir makes 2.8 billion. And the answer to the question is you have to take 8.9 billion divided by 244 billion. You take the free cash flow of 8.9 billion divided by 244. That's about 3.6% of the revenue goes into free cash flow. But if you look at Palantir, 2.8 billion, they already have $1 billion of free cash flow. So if you take 1141 divided by 2869, about 39.89% of the revenue of Palantir goes to free cash flow. That's why it's higher, because more of that revenue they're able to extract. Does that make sense? But the problem is this video shows you that this lady doesn't understand what market cap is. And she's on TV every day. She has her notes. She's all fancy. What does that tell you guys? It tells you you're smart. If you understand this, you're smarter than all these people on TV. You understand how smart you guys are? You just have to apply yourselves. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and let me go to the questions here real quick. Make sure I... Because there's a lot we have to talk about. There's so much we have to talk about. Price per share goes up, but our shares go down. Yes, absolutely, because it's a reverse split, right? It's opposite of splitting. It's a reverse split. It's putting stuff back together, right? So the share count goes higher. Does that make sense? Nothing changes, right? But historically, if a company does a reverse split, there's a lot of issues in the stock. Clover didn't exhibit this problem. They just had one unprofitable business, which was the ACO, but the Medicare Advantage side was profitable. In fact, industry leading MCR. Absolutely. Put the tent on hotel rooftop, penthouse view. Excellent. I love that. Right? I swear to God, we can probably convince them. We can block out the whole thing like these people are millionaires. Let them in. We can have a tent party, dude. I love that. Honestly, we should. I think that'll be fun. We should put that on live, dude. That'd be so fun, dude. Oh my God. Where is the next stop for the price? Well, again, these are tough questions. We could do some technical analysis to figure it out. Warren announces retirement. Yeah. Yeah. He did. Yeah. So, yeah. He, Mr. Warren Buffett, he inspired so many people. He inspired so many damn people. Him and Charlie Munger. I tell you, it was always my dream to go there. I just haven't had the time. I was supposed to do it this year, but Dr. Patel, all the BS. I was supposed to do it this year, but his knowledge changed my life. He changed my life, and that's one heck of a legacy. He turned Omaha, Nebraska more popular than what they call it, the Emmy Awards, right? No. Let's see here. Politics is the devil. Oh, not the political channel. I avoid that at all costs. Yeah, anything goes in the political channel. That political channel will suck you. It's literally, it'll suck you. I avoid it too. Everyone avoids the political channel in our group. No, but it's nice though. We have, if you want to go politics, we go here. If you want to go 18 and up, we go here. It's nice. If we want luxury, we go, it's nice. Oh, I gotta create a biotech channel. I don't trade biotech stocks, but one of our members was asking me. I gotta remember to do that. Damn, I'm going to need a bathroom break intermission at 2 hours in. Yeah, this is gonna be a long one. Hopefully it won't take us that long, but I think it will. I think I may need a bathroom break too and another water refill. Let's see. I'm gonna go to the comments. I'm just kind of reading through them so we can move on to the next phase. Absolutely, it does not affect the market cap because again, share price goes up, but it goes back up to the same ratio as the outstanding shares go down or in reverse. But again, most retail investors don't know that. Pretty much, that's pretty much it. The hardest thing the hardest thing of an investor is doing nothing. Patience is the key. Wealth is transferred from the patient to the inpatient to the patient. And that's where we're at right now. Okay. Oh shit, you brought up political. Oh, I'm sure the political channel is about to blow up right now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see here.
How does the CEO of Character Biosciences, which is not me, Joe Bligley traded gets to walk through the New York Stock Exchange floor and get an interview, but Andrew cannot?
Oh, I know, that's really funny.
Can we have an intermission so I can get something to eat?
Oh, you want an intercession? How long though?
Oh, show. Are you serious, bro? LOL, I'm not big fan.
I mean, we could call this an intercession, right? I'm looking at the comments right now. We could call this intercession. I'm just kind of looking at the comments real quick.
James just stay show the life. It's the last supper before we lose all the money.
It's the last supper. James, just eat and enjoy the live. It's the last supper before we lose all our money. Oh, this is it, guys. Enjoy it while we're here, okay? Tomorrow we're back down to 60 cents. No, I'm just kidding. I got Palantir at 10. I got 10. Wait, what? Palantir, I got 10 stocks. 10 stock. Oh, you're diversified. I see. Okay. Nah, Al, I'm dumb as bricks. No, you're not. You're very smart. The fact that you're here and listening. Here it is. A month ago, I didn't understand market cap. A question on Al Stock Trades forum made me research it. Today, I understood everything you talked about with market cap in this video. Absolutely. And that is, I'm very excited. That is the purpose of this platform because you have to understand the basics. Like I was just having a conversation with my girl. We're supposed to watch a movie and I just start talking about stocks, how many millions are in a billion? And she couldn't answer the question. I'm like, this is a failure in our educational system, right? Because they don't expect you to understand these big numbers because they know that you're never going to get there. But I believe you can, right? Life is beautiful. I want you to see Miami sunsets every freaking day. Okay, you have no idea. I see so much greatness in all of you. Okay. All right. So now let's move on to the next thing. So let me go ahead now and cut all these tabs off. So I can switch on to the next subject. Excellent. Good job. Good job. Okay, so now we have this. Okay. The first one is going to be a joke, and we're going to progress onwards, okay? So I had to share with you this. So this is me letting the whole world know when Clover hit free cash flow positivity in 2024. This is how I feel when Clover hit free cash flow positive. I felt like this. Let me share with you this video. Yeah. So that's how I felt. So I hope you heard that. That was a little joke, right? Just want to, right? Okay. So there's that. That's how I felt like. Like they became free cash flow. Like, oh, it's almost like a dog barking, like something's happening. So there's that. Okay. The second thing I want to show you, damn, look at those eyes. Right. That's me staring at the financial sheets, right? Same feeling when we get the Humana. Oh yeah, if we get the Humana SaaS contract, I'm doing that again with those eyeballs, like, right? This is B-Rob calling Molina, right? Jesus Christ. Crazy, crazy people. You guys are crazy. I tell you, crazy people. He's on the phone like, you guys are crazy people. Right? Okay, so share this tab instead. Okay. Okay. All right. The next video I'm going to share with you. These are like kind of short and we'll go long. Right? Predator, right? Oh, that's the movie? Is that the movie? It's Predator? Let me see. Predator. Oh, shoot. Wait a minute. This is Aliens versus Predator? Arnold was in this movie? Holy shit. Oh, I'm so watching this movie tonight. Dude, you guys are giving me a lot of good movies to watch. I'm gonna move this over to this one here. Now I got Night of the Roboxberry, whatever. Roblox, I call it Roblox. Yeah, I got a lot of good movies now. I put what it looked like when the glow. No Predator 1, no Aliens, just Predator. Huh. Just Predator. Oh. The original. I didn't know this. You guys have, I'm young, so I don't know this stuff. This is 1987. I mean, I've seen a lot of old movies. I love like Casino. I love these movies, the older, the mob-like movies, Italian, and all these things. I like these types of things. Okay, so, all right. So I almost want to get a pinky ring. I love it a lot. I love the Italian food, the balsamic, the olive oil, and the culture. It's just beautiful. Okay, I want to go to Italy. I haven't had the opportunity, Okay, so what I'm about to do right now is I'm going to share with you something that is very interesting. And I'm going to give you kind of my ending conclusion and we'll reverse it. My ending conclusion is that please excuse, my language here, but I think society is uneducated. I think society is doesn't know how to think to themselves. I think people that are educated are not educated. I think people that are educated do not know how to critically think for themselves. You go to college students that are graduates, you ask them to think to think critically and to think by their own view and be able to figure out something, and they don't know how to do that. They do not know how to do that. And the point of this is there's a lot of stupid people out there. And I'm going, and I think it stems from ego. People, they care about how others view them rather than how they view themselves. Okay? And I'm going to show an example. Okay? Let me just, okay, let me go ahead now. And I think this is audio on. And I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and do this. Go ahead and do this. And I need you to watch this video, guys. This is a very good video. Okay. And we're going to pause it and analyze it. We'll watch it twice. First, let's watch it in full, and we'll watch it again through commentary.
We built a fake luxury store, filled it with avant-garde sculptures and displays. We even hired a full team of sales associates. Then we filled all the shelves with Payless shoes and jacked up our prices as much as 1,800%. And finally, we gave it what you might call a fancier name. Welcome to Palessi.
Palessi is just such high quality, high fashion. It's taking your shoe game like up to the next level.
It's like very, European, very, upscale.
The guests at the Palessi grand opening party had no idea any of these shoes were from Payless.
It looks really well made. I love a heel that's kind of chunky because it means you can like jump up and down, do some backflips maybe.
It's a stunner. It's one of those shoes that you're just going to get compliments on over and over again.
Elegant, sophisticated, and versatile.
For me to experience this as an Italian designer is amazing.
I could definitely wear this to like a Met Gala dinner.
Just think it's so unique.
I would definitely spend $295 on a pump like this.
I would pay like $300-400 for these shoes for sure. I'd probably spend about $500 on this.
Compliments are great and all, but would these fashionista influencer types open up their wallets for our shoes? We watched from a room backstage as our first customer approached the register. We all celebrated the first sale, but then we witnessed more and more shoes selling. Shoes sold for $250, $400, and even $600. But before any of them left, we let them know the shoes were actually from Payless.
What? No way.
You've got to be kidding me.
Shut up. Are you serious? No.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So this was a social experiment that Payless, remember Payless is a discounted store. I believe Andrew Toy talked about, was it Andrew Toy or B-Rob made this rumor? I think he dresses in, he said, I think it was, honestly, man, I think it was B-Rob, man. B-Rob knows how to, go in there and turn something into a truth. But who knows? Maybe he does have Payless pants. I don't know, right? But Andrew Toy does shop there. He said he shops there. I could have sworn he shops there. So here's the thing. They bring all these fashionistas, some Italian designer. Right? He's very just so elegant. He knows fashion. This guy's a fashionista, right? And they all, because of the sculptures and everything, they all bought in to this ideology. And then you can see the prices of what they wanted to spend went higher and higher and higher and higher, right? I appreciate you, brother, right? Went higher. By the way, after this, we're going to talk about Warren Buffett intrinsic value video. So this video is compact with a lot. I wanted to do the live yesterday, so this is like 2 lives together, right? So you could see, I bet you would ruin their careers. I bet you this is the best marketing stunt of all marketing stunts, right? But you could see how the price went higher and higher and higher. It's very interesting how they did that, because it shows you kind of like how stocks work, right? No one wants it when it's discounted, but once it starts becoming premium, goes higher and higher and higher. Everyone now is like a fashionista, right? Right. So now let's go ahead and watch the video again and other videos as well, and let's comment on what I think.
We built a fake luxury store, filled it with avant-garde sculptures and displays. We even hired a full team of sales associates. Then we filled all the shelves with Payless shoes and jacked up our prices as much as 1,800%. And finally, we gave it what you might call a fancier name. Welcome to Palessi.
Literally, Palessi, Paylessi, Payless, Paylessi. To all my international folks that are watching this, don't you love Americans? And I'm sure the Europeans, you guys will do the same thing, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Palessi is just such high quality, high.
Like, what the hell does this guy know about quality and high fashion? Like this guy is like, how does he, like, where is he getting this data from? Like what? Like his guy is like getting the data. Like he knows Palessi. He knows, he understands the history of Palessi. He understands that Palessi was a person who was in Italy, who worked hard with his hands, and he created Palessi next to the man by the name of Ferragamo. He lived across the other bridge from Ferragamo, and he created Palessi. Like he's acting like he knows what he's talking about. High class, high quality. It's all BS. It shows you that people, they care about what other people think, okay? I'll give you an example really quickly so you can see this lady in this 15-second one. I'm going to show you this one. She hits it on the knob really quickly. She's like, oh my God, people are going to ask me, where did you buy this? Where did you buy this? Let me show you.
I would pay 400, 500. Yeah. People are going to be like, where'd you get those? Those are amazing.
These are actually from Payless.
Shut up. Are you serious? Wait, did I just pay too much?
Look at her.
I would pay 400.
I would pay 400. And you know why she would pay 400? You know why she would pay? Watch.
500. Yeah.
400, 500. 500 for these shoes. The way she's wearing them, she's like, this is so designer. And this is all she cares about. This is what most people care about right here. Look at how she leans in.
People are going to be like,
oh my God. Where did you get those? I got it from Palesi.
where'd you get those? Those are amazing.
These are actually from Payless.
And look at her. Look at her face. Look at her face when her reality falls upon her head. Her reality falls and she realizes that everything that's surrounding her, all this lions and whatever the hell this purses and stuff behind her, all this is falling on her head. All these avant-garde sculptures, it's all falling on her head. And she's realizing, she's like, wait, what? Yes, your reality is fake. Yes, you don't know how to critically think for yourself. You do not know how to assess value, right? You don't know how to assess value. You don't know what intrinsic value is. You don't even know how to tell the worth of something. Okay? This is what people do. Okay? Let's continue.
Shut up.
She's like, she think it's a joke. She's like, stop lying to me. And look at the worriness on her face.
Are you serious?
Oh, it doesn't show you. And okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, let's go back and now let's listen to this expert here. He's going to tell us about Palesi like he knows everything about it right here.
Palesi is just such high quality, high fashion. It's taking your shoe game like up to the next level.
I think you're
Sorry. I'm muted. I'm so sorry. I'm in the zone. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me replay this and let me tell you what I said. Hold on. I'm back. I lost audio. My apologies.
Up to the next level.
I think very
So let me show you.
European, very upscale.
The guest at the
So I'm back now. So what does she say? It's very European. It's very upscale. Like, what the hell does that mean to you? Like, I can look at her eyes and I'm like, how many neuronal like think for yourself for about 1 minute. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I was in the zone. I was like, oh, I was in the zone, right? Honestly, that's good you didn't hear what I said because it was pretty mean, right? It's best that didn't come out, right? But I was pretty much saying that these people don't know how to think for themselves. Okay? Let's continue more.
European, very upscale.
The guest at the Palesi grand opening party had no idea. And
Look at this guy. Look at this fashionista. Look how he's laughing. So stylish. He's an expert. Look at him and look at this guy. Look at this guy. Like look at him. Dude, his eyes almost look like Kendall Jenner, right? One of the daughters of the Kardashians, right? Just look at that. I mean, honestly, doesn't he look like Kendall Jenner here? I kid you not. I swear to God, he looks just like Kendall Jenner. Look. Doesn't that those eyes look like Kendall Jenner? Watch. Let me show you. It's like the same eyes almost. Right? I don't know. It just reminded me of that for a quick hot second. Okay. But just look at how these people are acting. He has the little thing over his his button down, and he's just going like this. He's just so animated. He's so like, it's like so narcissistic. He's so animated, right? And he doesn't understand that he's surrounded by Payless shoes. I mean, you got to be kidding me here. Okay, you got to be kidding me. Okay. All right, let's continue with the social experiment.
Yeah, any of these shoes are from Payless.
It looks really well made. I love a heel that's kind of chunky because it means you can like jump up and down, do some backflips maybe.
It's a stunner. It's one of those shoes that you're just going to get compliments on over and over again.
Elegant, sophisticated, and versatile.
For me to experience this as an Italian designer, it's amazing.
As an Italian designer, it's amazing. I'm going to just go ahead and I'm just going to fast forward it to this guy. This is the Italian designer. This is the Italian designer when he realizes the truth, the moment we told them the truth. This is the Italian designer. This is the Warren Buffett of designers. This is the man right here. Look at his reality just crumble on him as an Italian designer.
Yes.
What? No way.
No way. No. Right? So the point is of what I'm trying to show you guys, and I'm doing it pretty harshly, right? But the point is that this world that we're surrounded by, it's all fugazi. Okay? It's all fugazi. Al, you're killing me. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. I swear to God, I'm trying to be. I know I'm being a little harsh right now, but this is something that's in my heart that I really want people to know. Like I want people to see this, because let me bring it back to stocks. Let me explain why, because it's so important. I mean, just look at this guy. You know what I mean? He's like, no, right? Oh no, really? Like his whole, you could see the circuitry in his brain. His reality is literally crumbling on him, right? So let me explain to you something, okay? Look at Apple. Apple makes $391 billion, okay? Apple makes $391 billion. What is the market cap of Apple? It's $3 trillion. The market cap of Apple is $3 trillion. So you're telling me right now, if everyone sells their Apple stock, do you think they'll be able to sell it for $3 trillion? Of course not. Of course not. There are people that hold their stocks forever. Let's say about 60% of people hold their stocks for Apple and only 40% trade. That 40% dictates the stock price, right? Let's say 10% trade. That's why in the pre-market, you always see stocks go up and up and up and up. But then the problem is once the real market comes in and opens up, then the stock depreciates. Look at HIMS today, right? So you see what I'm trying to say with the after night hours, right? I'm trying to teach you this because it's a perception, right? It's all fugazi. All this is fake. It's all fake. This reality, this money system is all fake, okay? This whole thing is fake. Apple is not worth $3 trillion, right? But the market pushes that because it's looking 10 years into the future and discounting cash flow. And you know what it's doing? It's discounting it 3 years into the future on top of the 10 years. Does that make sense? So it's what it's doing is it's actually discounting 13 years in advance, sometimes 14 years. I think Palantir is doing 13, 14 years. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to tell you is this world around us is fake. It's all fugazi. If everyone sold their Apple shares right now, it will sell, I would say, at around $140 to $150 and maybe $125, which is not $3 trillion, ladies and gentlemen. Does that make sense? I know I'm being a little harsh, okay? I'm really sorry, ZZ. I'm really sorry, okay? But I'm just trying to prove a point. Okay, I'm trying to show you from an educational perspective that the world around us is dictated by how other people feel. Okay? It's fake. And if you understand that, and if you understand what's fake and what's not, and you know how to assess the value of something, and you do not care how other people think about you, you will become very successful because you went to the mountaintop. You know what matters, because in 100 years, we will all be dead. We will all be dead. None of this matters. So whoever you're scared of someone X thinking about you somewhere, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? If you're LGBTQ, it doesn't matter. Love who you love, be who you want to be. Stop thinking about what other people think and try to learn to assess value, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to watch one more video, and then we're going to take it to the man himself, Warren Buffett, okay? So we're going to do one more. And we're going to look at this one here.
Headlines by the chain Payless Shoes. They held a grand opening of a luxury store with a different name but the same shoes, and charged hundreds more for those same shoes. Customers paid. Here's ABC's Kana Whitworth.
Behold, Palessi.
We built a fake luxury store in Los Angeles and filled it with Payless shoes. The guests at our grand opening party had no idea.
Guests invited to check out what looked like a luxury shoe shop.
They're elegant, sophisticated.
I just think it's so classy.
And I could tell it was made with high quality material.
A $35 shoe going for $645, an 1,800% markup. Store owners sat on their heels as fashion influencers emptied their wallets.
I would pay 400, 500. Yeah. People are going to be like, where'd you get those? Those are amazing.
Then they're let in on the prank.
These are actually from Payless.
You've got to be kidding me.
Shut up. Are you serious?
But those shoppers were refunded their money and they got to keep the shoes. David, Payless calling it a provocative social experiment designed to challenge today's image-conscious culture. Either way, it was an effective PR stunt.
Image-conscious culture. Image, that's all they care about. All people care about is the stock price. It's an image concept culture. The stock price is going up. It must be a good stock. No, don't think like that. That's how poor people think. Okay? Let's continue.
Yeah.
David.
Clearly a marketing ploy, but they paid. Kana, thank you.
Hi.
Anywho, so there's that. Okay. So now that we went ahead and did that, now we're gonna watch a section of this video here by the master himself, Warren Buffett. And this talks about intrinsic value. It's a long talk. We're gonna rewatch it again in the future, but we're gonna just do this one simple concept. Again, long live here, okay? Oh, let me go ahead and read the comments real quick.
The modern marketing is effective about these. People are unsure and self-absorbed. Their identity is tied to what they think is art. But it's bullshit covered with diabetes.
And that's what it is. It's all BS. It's exact. And the fact that I'm able to have a YouTube channel and show you this and teach you this and apply it to the stock market, I can show you that sometimes the most money I've ever made in my life is buying something that no one else wanted. Carvana, nobody wanted it. It was the best time to buy in 2023. Palantir, nobody wanted it. Best time to buy when it was $6.42. Clover Health, nobody wanted it. The best time to buy at 60 cents. Tesla, nobody wanted it. Best time to buy, $12 to $18. It's guys, it is the pattern repeats itself. And if you walk with the herd, you will be poor like the herd. If you walk with the herd, you will be poor like the herd. You have to take a contrarian view and you have to think for yourself. And if this channel does one thing, if I can just have one wish, is to be able for all of you to be able to think for yourself, to think independently, to not have the news think for yourself, to not have the universities, policies, and politics think for you. Think for yourself, okay? We have the data. We have over 2.5 billion outputs of institutionally graded data. We have AI. We have it all. But you got to learn how to ask the questions. And if you don't know how to ask the questions, then you don't know how to think for yourself. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the questions and we'll go to Warren Buffett. Al speaks about facades, right? Yeah, exactly. It's a facade. It's all Fugazi. It's in the movie, Wolf of Wall Street. It's all Fugazi. It's all just nothing. It's all nothing, okay? All right, let me see here. I bet they threw their shoes in the Yeah, in the garbage. Exactly. After they know, they probably threw it, right? Because they couldn't handle the dignity. They couldn't, like, no, I'm not gonna wear Payless shoes, but in this marketing stunt, I'll pay $500 for this. It shows you when stocks go up, like Palantir, I would pay $100. I'll pay $120. I will pay $150. I will pay $500. It's the same psychological behavior. When stocks trade under their intrinsic value, they will, if they have positive free cash flow, positive net income, they will trade at above their above their intrinsic value. And ladies and gentlemen, we can take advantage of these people. These people are good. These people, I love them, right? I make fun of them, but I love them. I love them because it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. But it's because they can't think for themselves, so it's okay, right? Here is the share. Here is Clover Health at $80. Here you go. I'll take it back from you when it's 30 because you don't want Payless. I'll take it back from you when it's right. It's fine, right? And I appreciate you guys. Hit the like button if you can. Helps with the YouTube algorithm, right? All right, let me see here. What else are we here? I'm just reading the comments real quick here.
Elaine thinks they return and ran the stock, so soon will burn without a noise, without microeconomic from the inside.
There it is. Okay, good. So now, let's introduce this video. This video is at one of a Terry business school, I believe. It's a business school, Terry College of Business at University of Georgia. This is a great 1 hour and 17-minute discussion. We will be live streaming this and commenting because there's a lot of good stuff, and we're going to be live streaming a couple of these things so we can learn this stuff, right? Oh, very quickly, that everyone's here. We will be live streaming the Clover Health earnings, but also after the Clover Health earnings, we're going to go internally in the video stock terminal, the Discord, and we're going to be live streaming in there so we can all interact together, so we can go even deeper into the financial. We can go deeper into the financials. Okay. So there'll be 2 live streams. One will be public, and then one will be internal for all of us to talk and have fun. Right. These are all for lifetime members and stock terminal members. Okay. Yes, I will rent them my shares for a premium. Exactly. And that is called a covered call, right? And if the price goes back, it's fine. Cash secured put. And we will make so much money. It'll be amazing. And we will meet up with our tents, right? And our Palazzi shoes, right? With our Palazzi watches, right? No, right? With our Palazzi shares, right? That nobody wanted, right? Palazzi shares. And we're going to have a Palazzi time, okay? All right, let's go ahead and watch this video to learn more about Palazzi, okay? So this guy asks a question about intrinsic value, okay? Let's see.
Intrinsic value in a company.
Well, intrinsic value, I'll get creamed, and I should.
He talks about getting creamed. We got to watch this whole thing. It's so good, but we're just going to watch this part right now.
So now let's go over here.
Hello, Mr. Buffett. I got 2 short questions. One is, how do you find intrinsic value in a company?
So, 1, how you find intrinsic value in a company. Let's see what the second.
Well, intrinsic value is what is the number that if you were all knowing about the future and could predict all the cash that a business would give you between now and judgment.
So essentially predicting all of the free cash flow of the future into now and judgment day and discounting back. What does that sound to you? What does that sound to you? Let me show you a screenshot real quick and we'll replay it. What does that sound to you, ladies and gentlemen? Do you remember the old intrinsic value before we went digital? Before we went to this intrinsic value? Do you remember this one? Do you remember? It's the sum of all discounted free cash flow with a discount rate here. What is this? This is the old intrinsic value calculation. All right, so let's listen to this billionaire. See if we can learn something. Let's replay it a little bit and let's go.
Hello, Mr. Buffett. I got two short questions. One is, how do you find intrinsic value in a company?
Well, intrinsic value is what is the number that if you were all knowing about the future and could predict all the cash that a business would give you between now and Judgment Day, discounted at the proper discount rate, that number is what the intrinsic value of a business is. In other words,
Discounted at an appropriate discount rate. Where is he getting this from? Discount at an appropriate discount rate. He is getting it from the intrinsic value calculation, which I learned from his mentor, Benjamin Graham, which then I converted into a digital analog in which you can search any company you want and it'll run the intrinsic value automatically. You just have to, like a surgeon, like a proceduralist, alter it a little bit based off of the financial table metrics chart for 10 years. Okay? Let's read this again. It's so important. So important.
Is, how do you find intrinsic value in a company?
Listen, let's listen again.
Well, intrinsic value is what is the number that if you were all knowing about the future and could predict all the cash that a business would give you between now and Judgment Day, discounted at the proper discount rate, that number is what the intrinsic value of a business is. In other words, the only reason for making an investment and laying out money now is to get more money later on, right? That's what investing is all about. Now, when you look at a stock, when you look at a bond, assuming it's the United States government bond, it's very easy to tell how much you're going to get back. It says it right on the bond. It says when you get the interest payments, it says when you get the principal. So it's very easy to figure out the value of a bond. It can change tomorrow if interest rates change, but the cash flows are printed on the bond. The cash flows aren't printed on a stock certificate. That's
You get it? This is so important. The cash flow on a bond, you know, it shows you how much you know the cash flow. Obviously, the federal funds rate changes, which is the 10-year federal note, which is back to the federal funds rate. That's a different topic. We're not going to talk about that. That's what he mentions. But he's saying that the stock price, so he's saying that a company's stocks don't give you the free cash flow. But then, like the Pelosi people, they're going to say, but we can tell it's a good stock. It is traded at $100. It must be good. That is fake. That number is fake. You have to find the number. You look at go look at someone. You say, "Oh, that the stock price is fake." That's not the real stock price. They're going to look at you like you need some haloperidol or some type of atypical antipsychotic, right? Like you need to go speak to your psychiatrist. Okay. But they don't understand. You have to calculate intrinsic value on a stock to determine what's its actual value. The problem is most people don't know how to do that because they don't even know how to value life. They don't know what's meaningful in life. They don't know how to value. They can't even value their own net worth because their net worth is attached to how other people view them. So you think that their net worth ability to understand their optics is able to calculate the value of a freaking large business when they can't even calculate the value of themselves? That's what the first thing you have to do in life is invest in yourself before you're able to invest in others and help other people. So this is the power of the intrinsic value. It teaches you what the hell is the stock price worth? Because it doesn't say it. Because the stock price is fake. In the long run, it will become real. But in the short term, it is fake. In the short term, it is a voting machine. In the long term, it is a weighing machine. This is Charlie Munger quote, RIP, rest in peace. These are all concepts that will stay for for time and time. Timeless concepts. You have to understand when you want to play the game of Wall Street. Let's continue.
That's the job of the analyst, is to print out, change that stock certificate, which represents an interest in the business, and change that into a bond and say,
that's our job. Our job is to change the stock into a bond by printing out all the future free cash flows and discounting to today's day, to what it's worth. And that's how you know what the stock price is worth. That's our job, right? So let's go back. let's just listen again.
The cash flows are printed on the bond. The cash flows aren't printed on a stock certificate. That's the job of the analyst, is to print out, change that stock certificate, which represents an interest in the business, and change that into a bond and say, this is what I think it's going to pay out in the future. When we buy, some new machine for Shaw to make carpet, that's what we're thinking about, obviously. And you all learn that in business school. But it's the same thing for a big business. If you buy Coca-Cola today, the company is selling for about $110 to $15 billion in the market. The question is, if you had 110 or 15 billion, you wouldn't be listening to me, but I'd be listening to you incidentally. But the question is, would you lay it out today to get what the Coca-Cola company is going to deliver to you over the next 200 or 300 years? The discount rate doesn't make much difference after as you get further out. And that is a question of how much cash they're going to give you. It isn't a question of, it isn't a question about how many analysts are going to recommend it or what the volume in the stock is or what the chart looks like or anything. It's a question of how much cash it's going to give you. And that's the only reason. It's true if you're buying a farm. It's true if you're buying an apartment house. Any financial asset, oil in the ground, you're laying out cash now to get more cash back later on. And the question is how much are you going to get? When are you going to get it? And how sure are you? And when I calculate intrinsic value of a business, when we buy businesses, and whether we're buying all of a business or a little piece of a business, I always think we're buying the whole business because that's my approach to it. I look at it as
because you have to think like that. You have to look at what's the worth of the whole business, and then you divide by the number of outstanding shares, and then you see what each share is worth. That's what our damn software does, and it does it automatically. And I agree with you. I'm actually going to go to the gym after this. I'm going to go swim. I'm going to do weights. I'm going to go swim. But yeah, I used to have a treadmill, and then it broke, I think because my big ass, my fat butt broke it. No, but it was a cheap one from, Amazon. Al will buy you a green tent if you smash the like button, right? Right? A green tent, right? And if Clover goes bankrupt, I'll get you a red tent, right? Actually, you'll just get a blue tarp, right? I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's listen to his second question, okay? And then after this, we're gonna do a discussion and a debate with AI. I'm gonna have a debate with the AI. There's a lot happening in this video, guys. Okay.
Say what will come out of this business and when. And what you really like, of course, is them to be able to use the money they earn and earn higher returns on it as you go along. I mean, Berkshire has never distributed anything to its shareholders, but its ability to distribute goes up as the value of the businesses we own increases. We can compound it internally, but the real question is, Berkshire selling for, we'll say, 105 or so billion now. What can we distribute from that 100? If you're going to buy the whole company for 105 billion now, can we distribute enough cash to you soon enough to make it sensible at present interest rates to lay out that cash now? And that's what it gets down to. And if you can't answer that question, you can't buy the stock. You can gamble in the stock if you want to, or your neighbors can buy it. But if you don't answer that question, and I can't answer that for internet companies, for example. There are a lot of companies, there are all kinds of companies I can't answer it for, but I just stay away from those. Number two.
So you got formulas involved and find.
So then number two, he said, you see how astute Warren Buffett is at his age? He's like, you got two questions. You see, most people forget. He's like, number two, what's your number two question? You see how smart this man is? Right? So now his number two question is, you got formulas involved. Why haven't you shown these formulas? And the answer is he has, but he wrote it out. Back in the day when you were in elementary school and when they were to give you a problem, not elementary school, high school, it's a bit of advanced math, where the mathematical question is in a paragraph, but you had to convert a paragraph into a formula, right? And it gives you the critical thinking skills. Well, that's what Warren Buffett did. He never gave the equation. He actually never. But I had to And I did this. It was hell. I was doing this, and I was writing the equation down, and I was trying to calculate the equation, and I was taking the equation and seeing I was translating his words into equations, and I finally was able to translate it into an equation, and I was like, holy hell! I think I just solved Warren Buffett's equation, which is the intrinsic value calculation that we have, which is the most accurate in all of Wall Street. Okay, let's go ahead and listen to the question.
For, but I just stay away from those. Number two.
So you got formulas involved in finding intrinsic values on certain companies. I mean, you've got a mathematical system set up.
Discounted present value.
So you got formulas involved in finding intrinsic values on certain companies. I mean, you've got a mathematical system set up.
Discounted present value of future cash. Yeah.
He said, yes, I have a formula. He said, discounted presence of future cash. What the hell does that mean? What the hell does that mean, guys? Let's go back to our equation. What the hell does that mean? What is that? Discounted present value of free cash flow. We figured out the equation. It's now, where the hell is it? It's now this right here. This is the equation right here. It turned into this. So you see how it is right here, discounted. You see the word discounted here? Sum of discounted future free cash, right? Free cash flow of the future. Right? These are the projections. So let's go back now and let's listen to what he said. He said the equation really quickly.
On certain companies. I mean, you've got a mathematical system set up.
Discounted present value of future cash. Yeah.
Second short question is, why haven't you written down your set of formulas or your strategies in written form so you can share it with everyone else?
Well, I think I actually have written about that. If you read the annual reports over the...
He's laughing. He's like, yeah, right. And he actually has. You have to read the annual reports. I read every single annual report from like 1957. I read each and every one. And every one, he drops a hint. Everyone, he drops a hint, a hint, a hint. I took all the hints and I made the equation. Right? And you can too. Or you could just join our platform. I do it for you. And the software does it for you. And you have access to over 2.5 billion outputs of institutionally graded data. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying like this is huge. Okay. So let's continue watching and listening.
Recent years. In fact, the most recent annual report, I use what I've just been talking about. I use the illustration of Aesop. Because here Aesop was in 600 BC. Smart man. Wasn't smart enough to know it was 600 BC, though. I mean, would take a little foresight. But Aesop, in between tortoises and hares and all these other things, he found time to write about, birds. And he said, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Now, that isn't quite complete, because the question is, how sure are you that there are two in the bush, and how long do you have to wait to get them out? Now, he probably knew that, but he just didn't have time because he had all these other proverbs to write and had to get on with it. But he was halfway there in 600 BC. That's all there is to investing, is how many birds are in the bush, when are you going to get them out, and how sure are you? Now, if interest rates are 15%, roughly, you've got to get two birds out of the bush in 5 years to equal the bird in the hand. But if interest rates are 3%, and you can get two birds out in 20 years, it still makes sense to give up the bird in the hand, because it all gets back to discounting against an interest rate. Problem is, often you don't know, not only how many birds are in the bush, but in the case of the internet companies, there weren't any birds in the bush. But they still take the bird that you give them if they're in the hand. But I actually have written about this sort of thing, and stealing heavily from Aesop, who wrote it.
So essentially, he wrote about stories, and I took the mathematical stories and turned it into a mathematical equation, and I was able to figure it out. And instead of just keeping it for myself, I'm sharing with all of you guys watching, because I'm sick and tired of the poor getting poor and the rich getting rich, right? So he says something interesting, okay? So let's use this analogy. Let me explain to you. So you have a bird in the hand. Let me think. One moment. One moment. Give me one moment. I'm back. Okay. So you have a bird in the hand. So I got a couple fives. I usually have a couple fives here. I used to tip. So when I tip people, I go out, I give them like fives. When I go eat, I give the guy who the valet, I give him a five. When I go to the employees at the golf course, I tip them, some money. I have fives. So I just pulled out my fives here. Okay. So I think I like 90, I think it's like $90 of fives, right? So here's this, okay? So I have these fives, okay? Right? So I have a bird in the hand. Here is my bird. I have a bird in the hand. And then hold on. Just one moment. Okay. And here's a bush. Okay? I have a bird in the hand and here's a bush. Okay? Problem is I need to, what I need to do is if I put my birds, one bird, we'll call this a bird, right? In this bush, I need to know how many birds I'm going to get out. If I put one bird here and then I'm done holding this. This is the bush, right? Yeah. So if I put, let's say, one bird in, and let's say I get 2 birds out, that's really good. What happens if I get 10 birds out? 10 bagger, right? So the problem is you have to ask yourself is how many birds are in the bush? How many birds are in there and when am I going to get them out? What happens if it took 3 birds in? I have to give 3 birds to get out 1 bird. Well, that's stupid because that's what AMC did, right? You put in 3 and you lost 66.7% of your money, right? So you have to know, is there birds in the bush? And to determine that mathematically, you have to figure out the bush. Does it have any apples? Does it have any flowers? Is it pollinating? Do you see bees coming in? Are there bees working? What's the value of this bush? What's the soil? Is the soil good? What's the water supply? Is it near a sun or is it shielded? Is someone else taking a competitor tree taking away the sunlight, which will emit the photosynthesis in the chromophyls of the cell, right? So, okay, it's getting direct sunlight. Holy crap, it's getting the whole sprinkle system. It has a moat, all this water, right? And it has these bees working really great. Wow, this is a very good bush. Oh my God, I'm seeing all of these birds coming out. All these birds coming out every single 3 months, every single quarter. I'm seeing positive free cash flow coming out of the business. And then when I first saw the bush, I had to give it I had to give it 10 birds. I had to give it 10 5, right? I had to give it 10 birds to potentially be able to get 20 birds out in 5 years. But all of a sudden, as the value of the surrounding areas started to crumble. And a city that is 1,000 miles away became invaded. And they just destroyed the city. All of a sudden now, it's asking me for just one bird. One bird to potentially get 20 birds out. That's undervalued. The stock price went to $1, let's say. Nothing's changed. I'm still going to get 20 birds out, right? Because you invest at SPAC level prices at 10, and let's say the stock is worth 20. You get 20 birds out at 10, you're only going to double your money, right? But now I'm putting in one bird and I'm going to get 20 birds out. The question is, how do I know there's 20 birds? How do I know? Well, look at the free cash flow. They just became free cash flow positive. This is what intrinsic value is all about, guys. And you have to mathematically calculate this, right? Now, I wish I had a whiteboard. I can show you this. It'll be a lot better than this just limited, thing here and some cash here. But that's the overall general picture of intrinsic value. Okay, you have to look at the bush. Is it a good bush? Right. If it's a not good bush, we don't want it. Right. We have to look at the soil. Right. Is the soil good for the bush? We have to look at the water supply, the sun. These are all things. Is the management good? Right. Oh, you get it. You get what I'm trying to say? So now we have this. Now we're gonna take a quick I love a good book. Oh man, you guys, come on. I should have thought of that before. I should have thought of that before. It wasn't for me, man. It was Warren Buffett. He likes bushes. Okay, so Warren Buffett talks about it right here. So I was just using his analogy because I remember reading that report. Right. So now what we're gonna do. So now what we're going to do is, we're going to take a quick intercession, quick couple 5-minute break, and I'm going to have a debate with Medicare Advantage with AI. And this debate is going to be live. The AI is going to have a voice, and I'm going to have a voice. And what I'm going to do really quickly is I'm going to see if this can work. So I'm going to share it. Okay. I'm going to make sure this works. Okay. You guys are funny. And I'm going to make sure this actually is doing what I need it to do. Let's see. Hello, hello. All right. Is it working? Let's see. Hello, hello. All right. So now I'm going to do. Let's see. All right. Is it working? So now I'm going to do. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. Sounds like everything's working on my end. Great. Awesome. Glad it's all working.
Excellent. All right, you can shut up now. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to have a debate with the AI, artificial intelligent machine. It sounds like Andrew. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk to the AI specifically on the Medicare Advantage bump that Donald Trump gave, and we're going to see how that could potentially impact the cash flow and net income. Again, this is going to be a crazy live. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I wanted to say in the past couple of days. I'm sorry I can't make these little short videos, but I just want to make sure we make one big mega one. Okay. So let's take a quick intercession, and I'm going to go drink some water. And I'm going to eat like 2 pineapples, little pineapple, and I'm going to wash my face a little bit because it's a little hot in here. I'm going to turn on the AC a little bit, lower it. Okay. So we're going to take an intercession. Okay. Okay. We will, let's have a picture of Warren Buffett's face as an intercession picture in honor of his legacy. And we'll go from there. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Never going wrong. Stocks are climbing, reaching for the skies. Albertsons that's cutting through the lies. Retail dreams standing tall, they rise. In this world of trades with a price. Fortune calls, Albert leads the way. Retail winners, here to seize the day. Clover's Health, dollars gonna sway. In this game, no more bills to pay. Through the highs and lows we stay strong. Albert's voice guiding us all along. Clover's growth, we're playing like a song. Investing right, never going wrong. Fortune calls, Albert leads the way. Retail winners, here to seize the day. Clover's Health, dollars gonna sway. In this game, no more bills to pay. Albert Allen's got the secrets in his hand. Retail heroes taking over this land. Trading stocks with a master plan. Fortunes rising on the Clover brand. Numbers rolling, deals never stop. Bulls are charging, markets gonna pop. Albert's wisdom higher than the top. With Clover Health, we'll hit the jackpot. Fortune calls, Albert leads the way. Retail winners, here to seize the day. Clover's Health, dollars gonna sway. In this game, no more bills to pay. Through the highs and lows we stay strong. Albert's voice guiding us all along. Clover's growth, we're playing like a song. Investing right, never going wrong. Stocks are climbing, reaching for the skies. Albertsons that's cutting through the lies. Retail dreams standing tall, they rise. In this world of trades with a price. Fortune calls, Albert leads the way. Retail winners, here to seize the day. Clover's Health, dollars gonna sway. In this game, no more bills to pay. Through the highs and lows we stay strong. Albert's voice guiding us all along. Clover's growth, we're playing like a song. Investing right, never going wrong. Fortune calls, Albert leads the way. Retail winners, here to seize the day. Clover's Health, dollars gonna sway. In this game, no more bills to pay.
All right, guys, we're back. We're back. Long live. I dozed off. It's 4:45. What's going on? And this is we're definitely cooking tonight. He's like, hee. Okay, we're back. He dozed off. All right, good little 5-minute break. You know, I got some coffee. No, we're Palasi now. We're gonna drink with our pinkies up. Palasi. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, so all right. Jesus Christ, guys. All right, so you know, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do a live. All right. No, sorry. Hello, we are right, but we're gonna do a live debate with an AI. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to show you the screen, and I'm going to open up a new a new thing here. Okay, and I'm going to go cherry this screen, and I'm going to hit Clove. There it is. There it is. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go like this. I'm going to screenshot this. Actually, just to make it even better, let me just zoom in a little better for the AI to be able to read this. I'm going to take a screenshot. I'm going to say, I would like you to please internalize this picture that I'm going to give you. It has all of the financials for Clover Health. I'm going to ask you questions on it later. Please let me know when you've internalized it so we can begin our live debate. So I typed this in here. I would like you to please internalize it. Then we're going to have our live debate. So I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to say, I put in our stock terminal. Got it. I've internalized the financial data for Clover from the image provided. Okay, good. As a test, what is the free cash flow for 2024? Actually, no. Let me just go ahead and access the live debate. Hello, how are you?
Hey there, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
I'm doing great. Just wanted to give me a moment. Let me talk to my subscribers for a sec. Do you guys hear this?
Loud and clear. Take your time. I'll be here when you're ready to dive in.
So you guys barely hear it?
Okay. I'm not sure if I can hear them, but I'm hearing.
Hold on. Let me you do hear a chant. Give me a moment. Let me go to live here. Let me see. Let me see if I can hear it. Let me see here. I see what the issue is. I'm gonna have to put on some headphones because it's being interfered. So let me see if this might fix the issue. One. Okay, so these are bone conduction headphones. I'm gonna go ahead and put them on. So they conduct sound through the bone, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead now. I'm gonna take them off of the Bluetooth here, and I'm gonna connect them on the Bluetooth of the computer. Okay. I'm gonna make sure the audio is good here. The mic is good. The speaker is good. Okay, good. So we're good now. So now let's go ahead and check. Hey, can you say 1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3, so I know people can hear you?
Sure thing. 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Hopefully that comes through nice and clear.
All right, let's see if this works. Good. It's not the best, but this is good. All right, so now let's go ahead and do the debate. All right, just as a test, I want to see if you've internalized the image correctly. For Clover Health, what is the free cash flow for 2024 based off of the image I gave you?
Sure, based on the image, the free cash flow for Clover Health in 2024 is approximately 34.84 million USD. Let me know if you need any more details.
Excellent. So now let's begin our debate. Let me know when you are ready.
Sounds good. I'm ready whenever you are.
Excellent. So do you remember that Donald Trump went ahead and just gave big Medicare Advantage a bailout by increasing the effective rate? Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Sure. The increase in the Medicare Advantage effective rate essentially means that the government is boosting the payment rates to Medicare Advantage plans, which benefits insurers offering these plans. This move can be seen as a financial boost for companies like Clover Health that offer Medicare Advantage plans, as it can increase their revenue and potentially improve their margins. Critics might call it a bailout because it effectively provides more government funds to these private plans, which some argue could prop up their financials without necessarily guaranteeing better outcomes for patients.
Excellent work. Can you tell me by how much did Donald Trump increase the effective rate?
In 2024, I don't have the exact figure for how much the effective rate was increased by Donald Trump. The specific percentage or amount of the increase can vary based on the year and the policies in place. If you need the most precise or current number,
So according to the CMS, when that rate was increased, what was it increased to?
According to the CMS, the effective rate for Medicare Advantage was increased by 5.06%, which more than doubled the initial estimate. This boost significantly increased funding for Medicare Advantage plans.
Okay, so you're telling me it increased by 5%. What was it initially already? So what was the total increase altogether?
The initial projected increase in the effective rate was around 2.7%. With the final increase,
Hey, how's it going? I'm looking forward to working together.
total increase ended up being approximately 2.36% higher than originally expected.
So what's the total increase?
The total increase was about 5.06% from the previous rate. So the final effective rate increase was 5.06% in total.
That's incorrect. It's around 9%. Can you go ahead and check your sources?
I apologize for the confusion. The Medicare Advantage effective rate increase for 2025 is actually around 3.70%. Thank you for pointing that out.
So then it was increased to that 5%. So in total, what was the increase?
Got it. If the initial increase was around 3.7% and it was ultimately raised to about 5.06%, the total increase would be the difference between those two percentages, which is approximately 1.36%. Thank you for your patience.
So you're not answering the question correctly. Okay, so let's go ahead and start over. Okay, so what was the original CMS increase in 2024 when they released it? What was that increase to?
Sure, let's clarify. The original projected increase for the Medicare Advantage effective rate for 2024 was around 1.03%. Later, it was increased to approximately 3.32%, resulting in a total increase of about 2.29% above the initial projection.
Yeah, your data is wrong. I need you to go ahead, research it, and find another data source. This data source is wrong.
I checked the most recent data, and the finalized increase for the Medicare Advantage effective rate in 2025 is indeed around 3.70%. If there's another figure or a different context you're
Okay, so I think what ended up happening is me putting in this data. I should probably do it after. So I'm going to put this data once it searches. It's a cold start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put this here and I'm going to restart it fresh. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do a debate style. Let me know when you're ready.
All right, I'm ready when you are. Just let me know the topic and the format you have in mind, and we can jump right in.
Excellent. So the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid just went ahead this year, I believe in 2025, was it? They just released that they have increased the payout rate for Medicare Advantage up to a certain percentage. Do you know what that is?
Yes, for 2025, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services announced an increase in the payment rate for Medicare Advantage plans by about 3.7%. This adjustment is meant to help keep the program competitive and sustainable. Let me know if you want to dive into any specific aspects of this change.
So what was it before?
Before the 2025 increase, the payment rate increase for Medicare Advantage plans for 2024 was around 3.3%. So the 2025 increase of about 3.7% represents a modest step up from the previous year's adjustment.
I see. Are you sure about this?
Let me double check the most recent details to make sure I've got the exact numbers right. Give me just a moment.
So unfortunately, let me see here. Can you guys hear me? My computer is stalling. I don't know why it's doing that. Can you guys hear me? You guys can hear me now? So this is the government. Yeah, you have to talk about the pay. Yeah, you guys can hear me? I don't know why it's not showing me this. So let me just stop sharing. Now my own computer is getting weird. So weird. What the hell happened? Huh. That is really weird. What do you guys see right now on the screen? Oh, your browser has lost connection from the screen audio. It's so weird. Let me go ahead and reload this. Hold on, guys. Let me reload this here. Okay, so now we're back. I had to restart the thing. I don't know what. That's weird. Okay, you guys see this now? Okay, that was really weird. The computer like slowed down. All right, so I pulled up the table. I think Belize is correct. Al, you got to talk about the payment year 2026. I agree. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. Before I give it the data, I'm gonna see if it can answer it correctly. So what is the effective payment year final rate in 2026 for Medicare Advantage? Yeah. Yeah, that's incorrect. For some reason right now, let me show you what I'm seeing right now. I'm on this tab and I'm trying to do StreamYards and it's not working. So let me go ahead and like, this is so weird. I don't know what's going on. That is so weird. Okay. Yeah, that is, we don't hear the ball. Yeah. My apologies, guys. For some reason, I'm not too sure why when I try to share the screen, it's really, really, really slow. So unfortunately, it's I need to restart the computer, but it's fine. Well, I asked it for the effective rate, and then for some reason, unfortunately, it's not showing me the effective rate, and I can't share with you the screen with the audio because there's something wrong with the streaming thing. Normally, this is where I have buttons. Let me show you where I have buttons. This is where the buttons are supposed to be, and I think there's a button called "I'm having issues," so maybe I should press that button. Nothing happens. I don't know. All right, so this is the effective rate increase. So we're just going to have a debate through text, which is fine. I'm going to have to figure this out. But it was able to answer the question a couple days ago. So I don't know why it's not able to do that. So we're just going to go ahead and put this here. I'm going to say you are incorrect. You are incorrect. The effective rate is actually in the image. Go ahead and analyze it and tell me what it is. So we're just going to have a debate like this. And then now it understands that the effective rate is 9.04%. Okay. So unfortunately, I don't know why it's not showing me this, but that's fine. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put this in. We're gonna say, I want you to go ahead and internalize the table for Clover Health financial statement. This is for the past 10 years. Okay. Exactly, 9.04%. So I wasn't able to get to the hurdle. So I gave it the data and I gave the 9.04% right here, right? So I helped it out a little bit. So I had to give it the data. So now it has the data for Clover. Okay, so I'm going to ask the question. For the CMS increase, when does that happen for Clover? When are they going to get this bump? Exactly. They're going to get the bump in 2026. Okay. So that's what it says, 2026. Okay. Aren't Clover Health, isn't Clover Health going to be 4 stars also in 2026 in terms of being able to get paid? what is the percentage increase they're going to get paid in 2026 just from the 4 stars? So the answer is 5%, right? So it's searching the web. Let's see if it can find this. So, which qualifies for 5% in total quality bonus. So you're telling me in 2026, they're going to get somewhere around 9% plus an additional 5%. So in total, how much percentage points are they going to get more than what they're getting paid in 2025? Are you see where I'm getting with this? Exactly. B-Rad Cooley. You got it. You got it. So let's see if it can figure it out on its own. So 5% here plus 5%. Okay. All right. Are you sure this is correct? Because you're not including the effective rate. So what is the effective rate in 2026 payment plus their 4-star payment? Okay. So there's 9, risk model, final. What I'm going to do now is I am going to, because of this issue, I'm going to go ahead, because I have the pro version, I'm going to increase the pro version now, and we're going to go through advanced reasoning. Yeah, yeah, this model sucks. So we're going to go, so most people don't have access to this. We have access to this model. So let's see if this model can think. So the other one can't think. All right, so let's see if it knows, okay? So I'm going to see if this works. Okay, so let's see. So what's Clover Health? Actually, no. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's again. This is the first time I'm doing this, so let's figure out. So now I increase the model's brain power. So 4.0 sucks. Let's use 0.03. So let's see. This is why we have the platform. You can't. You know what I'm saying? This is why you have to have the data. You have to feed the data correctly. All right. So, all right. So this year in 2025, Donald Trump's Centers of Medicare and Medicaid announced an increase in Medicare Advantage. So what does the effective rate increase for 2026 for Medicare Advantage? So we're going to do this. So it's thinking. Let's see if it figures it out on its own. So let's see how it's searching the web, looking at multiple sources. So now this is the higher model. You have to pay $200 to get full unlimited access to this model. So let's see. Oh, there it is, 9.04%. So it's a lot fast. So there it is, 9.4. So you see how it knows automatically? All right. Great job. So for Clover Health, they got upgraded to 4 stars, and they're going to be paid at 4 stars in 2026. So if you add this, shouldn't they get 5% just because of 4 stars? And plus this effective rate of 9.04%. So let's see what it says. The thing is, this is the $200 version, so it should be better. That's the thing. But the Grok is nice. So we should probably switch to Grok. So let's see. I'm just trying to get it to a point where we can build off of it, and I'm going to test its knowledge. It's thinking, clarifying Clover changes, searching the web, searching through CMS. This is supposed to be a smart AI, huh? Look at this. Okay, there it is. Okay. Good job, AI. You're so smart. So back to what B. Rad Cooley was thinking, and he's again lifetime member. 2020. Okay, so now 14.4%. There, we got it. Good job. This is what I was getting to. Good job. Okay, so now that we know it's 14 to 15%, okay. Now you see how we have to, this one you don't have to give the data, which is nice. This because I never gave it a data. This is a more smarter AI. It just takes a little while. Now what I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you Clover Health's 10-year financial statement. Let me know when you've internalized it, because then I'm going to ask you complex questions. Well, my dog has a. I think he saw a Humana representative outside. Hold on. He's like, no Humana here. Okay. Let's see. So now it's internalizing the data, and now it's thinking. Okay. Import to glob, text wrap. Okay, I don't know what the hell it's doing, but it's trying to analyze this paper. So let it think. As it thinks, we're going to listen to the comments. I've tried chat, got GPT, and Grok side by side, different types of questions. I use only free version. Yeah. I use this for like research. I do like genetic data analysis research. So this is. Ooh, fancy. Look at this. Wow. It's analyzing the image. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me open up the thing here. Hopefully the audio is crisp, because this little streaming software I'm using is really tired right now. I never do lives this long. Okay, so there, it's thinking. Good. Holy moly. Image is now accessible. It shows financial data. I mean, it really is thinking. This is honestly good. I mean, no one has access to to this level of 03. The audio chops sometimes, but not a lot. Yeah. It's doing codes. That's what it's doing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know why it's just, it's kind of sad that it's like this, but I think because we really did a lot of, let me just cut more of tabs. Let me just take off these tabs here so we could. Okay, good. I've got the full table committed to memory. Wow. Oh, good job. Okay, good. So now here's my question. Given that now we have an effective increase to 14 to 15%, what I'm trying to figure out is I need you to analyze Clover Health's net income and also its free cash flow. And they said that they're going to grow around $1.85 billion in 2025. Assuming they said they're going to have a BER of around 87%, and historically potentially a medical cost ratio at 80 to 81%. Can you go ahead and help me calculate, given this increase of 14 to 15%, what could their potential free cash flow and net income be by 2026? Can you help me do that, given this effective rate increase plus the increase in the 4-star ratings? Go ahead and calculate this and utilize the internalized image of the full table of the analysis that you have regarding Clover Health's information. So now that it's doing that, let's see what it does. Now, actually, this is a very smart model, so let's do this. And as it's thinking, I want to share with you something that's quite funny. So let me push this here and let me show you something. I'm going to cut off Adobe because Adobe takes a lot of memory. But let me show you something about this Mac. Look at this Mac, guys. I have an M4 Max, but I'm using the M2 right now. But B-Rad, look, I have 96 gigabytes of RAM. Like this thing is a machine, right? It's a machine, right? So it's very strong. So I'm surprised that, it's having some issues with memory. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. Right? But I have another computer with over 100 gigabytes of RAM. I'm going to end up using that now. Looks like it can't handle all these tough lives. But it shows you, man, we're maxing out the computer, right? So it's doing codes right now. It's doing codes to figure out the question, which, holy shit, look at that. Whoa. What, I've never seen this before, guys. We're about to go into the Matrix right now. What the hell is going on? Holy crap. Look what the hell is going on here. I'm choppy, huh? Yeah, because this computer is thinking a lot right now. Yeah, let me cut off some of these tabs. It's doing all the scenarios. Let me cut off all these videos here so it can think. Oh my God, I'm reading it. It says Clover Health is going to go back to 60 cents. I'm just kidding. Let's see. So it's calculating all this. I show 3 cases. Damn, dude. Let's see what you can give me. Give me the money. All right. Yeah, chicka, let's go. What's up? Show me what you got. What do you got? All right. Holy crap. Wow. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Brushing. Okay. So I'm still reading this. There's a lot going on here, guys. So it says the range of the free cash flow will be 70 to 100 million. Net income will go from negative 150, doesn't make sense, to positive 40 million. But it was, so let me give it some of the data here, okay? So let's now go a little deeper. I like what it's thinking, and I'm seeing the math, and I'm doing the math in my head right now. Okay, so now let me give it more. Guys, this thing is good. 03 doesn't play around, guys. Whew. Holy crap. So for you guys, okay, let me just be all disclaimer. We actually use an 03 level model in our own AI. That's why it's smart. So the generative AI. But this is on a whole different level. All right. So now let me go ahead and let me ask it another question. Okay. So I need to be honest with you here. Okay. So if you go to the annual 10K report and look at the statement of cash flows, specifically, it talks about cash flow from continued operations and cash flow from discontinued operations. Okay. So what I'm trying to basically point out and explain to you is that Peter, the CFO, said that their cash flow from operations is actually 80 million, and they had a one-time payment of around $47 million, which is why you see their free cash flow dropping down to 33.29 million. So technically, their operational cash flow is around $80 million, and their CapEx spending is around 1.56 million. So we could assume they have around, for 2024, let's assume technically they have around $78 million of free cash flow. Based off of what you know now, they have a free cash flow of around $78 million. And in 2024, they had a net income of negative 43.01 million. I want you to go ahead and take all that data and incorporate it with the guidance they gave for 2025, which showed revenue to be 1.85 million, growing at 37%. And I want you to go ahead and take the data of the effective growth rate of 9% plus their 4-star increase at 5%, with an overall growth rate in 2026 to be around 14 to 15%. I want you to go ahead and give me a bull case, base case, and bear case for their free cash flow and net income. And I want you to organize it in a very sophisticated, simple table that someone like B-Rob can understand. I had to toss that in there. I'm going to remove the B-Rob. Because I don't think the AI knows B-Rob, so I'm just gonna remove that. I was just messing with you, man. It's a long live, you know what I mean? Gotta, smoking around a little bit. 3-hour live, what the right? This is a big Zarbamba. This is a Zarbamba, guys. Okay. Only right. It's a one big live here. Okay. And these calculations don't include SAS. SAS is like not in this. Exactly. So let us think. This is the most advanced AI right now. It's the Pro model. I pay $200 a month to get access to this. So you're getting the best AI out there right now. All right. Because I'm trying to figure out what could be the potential net income and all those other stuff. Okay. So it would have been nice to do a back and forth, but my computer's freaking out. So now it's like calculating and doing some CIA shit right now. So let's it do its thing right now. It's doing codes and whatnot, Let's see what it does here. Yeah, I can read the code too, by the way. I see what it's doing. Yeah, so it's giving the 12%. All right, I see what you're doing. All right, that's fine. As it's doing that, shout out, we got 393 people watching on Twitter, X, and we have 83 people watching on YouTube. So we have a total of 476 people watching the live right now, and that's not including LinkedIn. Impressive. All right. Man, my back is killing me, guys. Oof. Yeah, it's like, what is SAS? Right? Oh, there's a lot going on right now. Holy moly. It is. I wish you can show me. But it probably is showing me. It's just my computer's like being weird right now. So it's probably why it's not. Oh, we got some numbers. Okay. Ooh, nice. Good. 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 So you can toss out the bear case. Net income is not going to be negative 253 million. I don't think so. That's bullshit. So the bull case, free cash flow, net, yeah, that sounds about right. Now, so now let me go ahead. Net income does not make sense. Okay, so now again, this is why this is why your AI is only as smart as you are, right? You have to massage it, you have to kiss it, you have to make love with it, right? So let me give it some knowledge. Okay, all right. So your calculation is actually a bit weird. You're saying net income is going to be negative 40. You're saying your bear case net income is going to be negative 253 million. That's incorrect. We have to have some assumptions here, right? Let's assume that it cannot be lower than the net income of 2024, right? So the net income in 2024 is negative 43 million, right? So based off of this, go ahead and redo the whole calculation and go ahead and give me this illustrative table. Thank you. Is it? What's going on here? Is it not? So it's saying 2026 will be the year, which I agree with it, but I want accurate numbers so we can run an intrinsic here. So I'm gonna redo this because it's being silly. So let me just dictate it on here. Okay. Let me just take this number. Wait, I said million? No, it got it. Billion. Maybe it got it incorrect. Oh, you're right. That's incorrect. Good catch. Good catch. Good catch. Good freaking catch. Let me go ahead and just redo this, guys. And let me work with what we have here. Let me just run some. Let me please give you some clarifications as I messed up. In 2025, they're going to have 1.85 billion. I said million. It's actually billion. I corrected it below. Billion. Billion. Likewise, I want you to redo the calculation because given that their net income was negative 43.01 million, let's make some assumptions, given that they are approaching profitability, that the net income cannot go lower than 43.01 million for the subsequent years. Go ahead and now relook at the below text, reanalyze, and recalculate the effective rate increase and also the 4-star increase, which gives a total increase of 14 to 15%, as what we discussed before. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go here and I'm going to redo this and resend it. And now it's going to be way more accurate. So thank you. I appreciate you. Wrong. So now it's going to be, again, we have, we go back and forth. So now it's getting the adjustments. This is a very smart AI. We have the O3 model, which is the most sophisticated model. So now it's redoing it now. You see now it's 10 to the 9th power. So that's correct. Good catch. All right. So now it's using Python, which is pretty cool. That 70s dog just commented, said Marathon Man is another good movie. I liked it and I bookmarked it so I can have it. Let's see. But I said negative. So I fixed it. And I said it can't go lower than that. So let's see. I see what you're saying, the inflection of negative. So let's see if it's able to okay, good. Okay, good. All right. It got it. Okay, it got it. All right. It was able to figure it out. Good catch. I see what you're saying. Okay. 2026. Exactly. So see. Okay, let me think here. So the bottom line is layering the 4-star bonus on top of the 9% benchmark hike pushes Clover over the 2 billion revenue mark in 2026, keeping the BER less than 87% and driving SG&A towards the low teens. Remember, this is just this is good. This okay, this is very good. And then we either going to be I think we're going to be break even in 2025 or near break even. We'll see. But I think we're going to go anywhere between the base case here and the bull case. And then the free cash flow is going to be 118 to 161. And I agree with this. So now let me see how much I agree with it. So we do to do the free cash flow, we'll take 2-1. So we will take 2-1-2-1. So we'll go here. Take 2-1-2-0. 2-1-2-0, right? And then we'll divide above words the 118, and we'll see how much of that goes to revenue. That sounds about right. Remember I told you about 5.5%, 5% goes from revenue to free cash flow. So that calculation is correct. So the fact that I was able to calculate this and it was able to calculate it correct, I like that. I think it's going to be a lot higher given Clover's ability to do their software. So that's good. So we have this, and then if they become profitable, then they have the triple. So he did say, Peter, that they're going to be profitable, but we don't know by how much. Okay. Now what I'm going to say is, I'm going to say, excellent work. Now that you went ahead and calculated 2026, I want you to go ahead and give me the calculations for 2027, 2028, and 2029. And go ahead and put it in a table and include all the metrics that we talked about. So let it do that. Let me answer B-Rob's question, because B-Rob, you raise a good point. Okay. To answer the question, we got to look at the CAGR. Actually, we can use our own CAGR. So 2120. Two one 2026, 2025. And then this was 150. So this is only a 14.59% increase. So we're assuming only a 14.59% increase of the revenue. So you could see how we're undervaluing the shit out of this. Don't worry. We're getting closer. We're going to keep massaging this. Okay. We're going to keep I'd rather be a little conservative, and then we're going to massage it even deeper. Okay. But that was my next question. Okay. So now it's thinking, and now it's going to give me the format for, what I'm going to do is, because whenever it analyzes, it's weird. So I'm just going to show myself right now. And I'm just going to like have it think, because it's like, it like freaks the hell out whenever whenever it analyzes. So I'm just going to let it think, and then So I want to know 2026, 27, 28, 29. It's typing. All right, let's see. So here's the bear case. Here's the base case. Here's the free cash flow. Here's the bull case. Good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is you're going to see what you're probably looking like. What the hell is Al doing? I'm going to explain. So now we're going to open up this. We're going to zoom out a little bit. We're going to open this up. We're going to go here, and we're going to go this. We're going to put this here. We're going to go put Clover. Institutional ownership. We're going to do 25 years. Actually, no. Wrong. We're going to do, let me just, analyst estimates. We're going to go net income. So in 2028, they believe they're going to make 85 million, around 85 million. Anywhere between 79 to 85 million dollars of net income in 2028. Okay? In 2028. Here it is. Here it is, guys. There it is. See? In 2028, 74. So it's just a little under the 80 million that analysts are expecting for it to grow. Right? So you see this, right? So the problem is there's a deficiency here. Okay? There's a deficiency. The deficiency is the revenue growth rate. We're assuming for 14.59%. They're going to grow higher than that. Now, the question is, can they grow another 37% next year? I don't know. Let's be humble and let's say 25%, assuming 25%. Okay? So that's the next level. But now we know that the base case is going to be the numbers we should track. The base case should be the numbers we should track. Right? Because I wanted to know what is analysts thinking. So this is kind of what they're thinking. But I wanted to see if it's skewed or not. So 74, so 211 free cash flow. So now we know that. Now I'm going to go ahead and now we're going to do this. Excellent work. The only thing is you're growing the revenue at around 14 to 15%. That's not correct. They're actually growing 37% for 2025. But just be conservative. From 2025 at $1.85 billion of revenue, let's assume that from here on out, they're going to grow 25%. I want you to go ahead and make me the same table with the bear case, base case, and bull case. But in the table, I want 2026 numbers, 2027 numbers, 2028 numbers, 2029 numbers, and 2030 numbers. And please organize it just like how you have it. Just include this adjustment. So now I'm going to have it think. I'm going to, again, peel it off because it gets weird when it thinks and then, I don't know, the computer is absorbing a lot of cerebral activity. So 3.5 hours, no freaking way. Longest live to date. All straight up analysis. Holy 3.5 hours. I'm just starting now, man. You got something. Trust me. There's a lot of great content here. There's a lot of information here, right? All right. A lot of stuff. All right. This is the way. Again, I told you, this is analysis. This is due diligence. This is what I like to do when I'm on the beach, right? This is fun, right? Bookmark to rewatch. Oh, yeah. This definitely needs to be a rewatch, right? Okay. So it's thinking right now, and we're going heavy analysis here. We're using the best AI model that cost me $200. All right, here it is. It's typing. Nice. So we said the base case. The base case is where we should look at, which makes sense. The bear case is too much, and the bull case is too much. Obviously, Clover Health likes to always under-deliver, but undersay it, but over-deliver, right? So it's probably going to end up in the bull case, but let's be respectful and let's say base case, okay? So here's the bear case. This shows net income, all negative, which obviously is bull, right? The base case is where the magic is, okay? So 2026, I think they're going to be at break even at around 0. 2027, 43 million. 2028, $108 million of net income. Net income, guys, which goes back to what they're saying here. The analysts are saying $85 million in 2028. The analysts are saying $85 million in 2028. Okay? So now that we know that we're right here now with the analysts. Analysts are around this benchmark. So if Clover continues to grow, it's going to hit this one here. Okay? All right, let's continue. Here's the bull case, and this is kind of where we're at. So if Clover goes to 46, we got to take screenshots of this. If Clover can do $46 million in 2026, then we know we're going to be at the bull case, right? Then look at free cash flow. You see how free cash flow is growing, right? I think we're going to be here. So now that we're going to be at this level, and let's say the three-headed dragon is going to be met in 2026, but it's going to be a weak three-headed dragon because one side of the dragon is going to be like a little small, head. That's because the net income is not going to be as big, right? But let's assume that 2027 would be a good year. So now let's do the intrinsic value of this. So revenue will be 2.8. 2.8. So let's do 215 divided by. Hold on. Two 2890 215. 7%. That's that. Humana's around 6-7. That is perfect. That is perfect. Okay. I like that. Let's do 3610. Let's check out the 2028. 323. 8%. So yeah, it's just increased. So that's why I would say, yeah, and it makes sense because it's just AI. The reason why more goes into free cash flow is they become more profitable, and that AI, right? And again, this does not include SaaS. None of this includes SaaS. So now that we have this number, let's do some magic now. Now let's go ahead and do some magic. Let's go find me the intrinsic value calculation. Let's input Clove here. Okay. We'll put 215 for the free cash flow. And we'll put 25% growth rate. Obviously, if they grow more, then obviously it's going to be good, right? So if we update there it is. If we update the stock price, right? If we update the intrinsic value, we get let me just take a screenshot of this, right? And this is using 215 and 25% growth rate. Let's go ahead now, show you. So what this tells me is there's going to be a bull case of $28.35, a base case of $19.58, a bear case of $14.45, and a recession case of $7.27. Now, here's the thing. They did say in their investor relationship, they did say that they're going to be at the they're going to be in the growth phase now. So they could potentially keep growing 35, 37%, right? So if they, I know, it's just crazy. Now, if they do that, if they continue growing at that rate, at let's say 35%, I want to know what this could be, right? So this tells me base the bull anywhere between $19 to $28, right? Which explains why it topped out at $28, right? So now let's go ahead and put 35%, okay? Let's update the projection. And we update projection here. We get a base case of $38 and a bull case of $56, okay? Now, I think that's saying that it's going to grow 35% for the next 10 years. It can. We should investigate Humana's revenue growth rate to see how much it grew. But I would say, to be respectful, I would say 25 is very good. And ladies and gentlemen, when you get 25, you get these numbers here. And these numbers do not include SaaS, right? These numbers do not include SaaS, okay? So what am I doing here, okay? And it says here, BER improves 50 basis points each year. And we know that that's not the case for Clover. Why? because Clover actually, its MCR, which is a subsection of BER, doesn't improve by 50 basis points. Oh, no, no, no. It improves by 1,000 basis points, which is 10% rather than 0.5%. So every subsequent year, what I'm basically trying to show you right now is that this calculation actually gets better because its BER gets improved better. However, I make it conservative just in case if they're getting unprofitable seniors that require a little bit more massaging, right? So you see how amazing this is, right? So just so I understand here, let me go this here really quickly. Yeah. Look at the operating margins for Humana. It was around 6.46%. Then it started trickling down to 2.18%. Look at the operating margins for this analysis. It's trickling and it continues going up because as Clover gets more folks, it becomes more profitable. And now you're starting to see that we're getting a free cash flow in 2030 at 676 million. So let's assume we're in 2030 now, and Clover's free cash flow is going to be 676. And then by then they're growing. Let's be humble and let's say 20% growth rate instead of 25%. But this time we'll do 676. And before I hit enter, let me tell you, before I hit enter, if you think this is not correct, or you think that I've never seen free cash flow go up that much, well, that's baloney. Palantir's free cash flow is over $1 billion, and now they just had their earnings, and they're growing 39%, and their free cash flow is growing 55% or whatever it was. So, yeah, a lot. So there's that. I know, yeah, sorry, that was a little tease there, but I just wanted to make sure, So we hit enter, and at a 20% growth rate, we have a base case of $43 to a bull case of $62. Now, assuming if Clover is able to grow to 35% for the next 5 years, which I think it can, they only have 100,000 lives. Of course, I think they can grow that much. And this does not include SaaS. If they go to 25%, I think they're going to be more, but 25%, and we update it now with 676, then we see a base case of $61 to $89. Okay, $61 to $89 in 2030. So now let me tell you, you're like, Al, what the hell is going on here? What are you doing? Okay, you remember I told for the people that were watching this whole time. You remember the bush? How many birds does it take in my hand to get out these birds in these bushes? Okay? And I'm trying to figure out how many birds are in these bushes. I'm trying to figure out how many birds are in these damn bushes. And that's what I'm doing right now. And I have the most capable, strongest AI in the world. I pay $200 a month for this AI. It's ChatGPT Pro. I'm not a Plus member. I'm not a Plus member, and for some reason my computer's slowing down. It's almost like, I don't know what's going on. Can you guys still hear me? My computer's like slowing down. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. Let's see. Let's see if you guys can still hear me, because I can't see myself talk. Let's see if you guys can still hear me. It looks like you can. Okay, so it looks like you still can see me, but yeah, that's weird. Okay, well, so okay, so Weird. Okay, so I can't see myself and I can't see your comments anymore. So we're going to probably end the live in the next 3-4 minutes. Let me just summarize everything we talked about. Okay. So I have the most advanced capable AI in the world right now. I pay $200 a month. It's called ChatGPT Pro. You can look it up and see how much it costs. I went ahead and I gave it my data, which is like data that you would normally find in Bloomberg. I gave it the data and I also asked it about the effective rate. And I wanted to see what are the projections for net income and free cash flow. I paired it up with the projections of net income from what analysts are saying. Remember, analysts hate Clover Health in terms of they don't believe in it. The fact that they're thinking that it's going to be profitable in 2028 shows me that that's kind of like they're most likely going to be profitable in 2026 and 2027. So everything that I showed you now, if it happens before then, that means you're going to get more birds out of the bush, right? Because I said that, okay, we're going to have to wait this many times for the birds to come out. Well, if they show better numbers, that means the soil is good, the sun is good. Goes back to the analogy regarding what Warren Buffett, God bless his heart, and Charlie Munger, RIP. That's you get the birds out early, okay? And also in this video, what I also showed you in the beginning is that Clover Health has been quietly buying out their treasury stock without really talking about it on the earnings call. And a lot of retail investors don't know this, right? And I've been basically sharing it with you and showing you what they did. And you could see that it's over $36 million if you include the treasury stock with the share repurchase buyback. And that is incredible. Why? And you can see that if you follow the video, that's like 3 hours and 46 freaking minutes, right? You could see that in 2023, they had about $6 million of buying back treasuries. But in 2024, that shot up to 6 million. So if you take like that shot up to 16 million. 16 million from 6 million. So if you take like 16 divided by 6, what is that? Like what is that? What is that? 16 million divided by 6, that's about 2.67 million. Sorry, that's about 2.67x. So they increased by 2.6x. So they bought back their shares in 2023 at $6 million they spent. And then 2024, they spent another 16 million. Okay? So what does that tell you, ladies and gentlemen? They're bullish. They're bullish on the stock. They know it's undervalued, right? And they know that they're going to get to that $25 in a 90 consecutive day period, okay? That will give them those comps. But they don't want to dilute shareholders for these comps, right? They want them to essentially use this treasury to get paid for. And we're going to be able to monitor when they start selling because their treasuries will start going down. And that's when I will know when is a good time to do covered calls. You see what I'm saying? Are you seeing? I can't see the feedback. I can't see the questions. But just know that I love you guys. I care about you guys a lot. If I didn't care, I wouldn't be spending this many time, this long here with you guys. Okay. Let me see. Maybe I can look at the comment sections through my phone. The computer just can't handle this much, right? Let me see. Let me see here. Okay. I'm gonna go through the comment sections here. I don't know if you guys see me because the freaking computer sucks, Okay. These calculations don't include any future. Yeah, and these calculations don't include any future SaaS. What's going to happen in 5 years from now? How many SaaS deals are they going to get? Are you seeing what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. Let me make sure. Ken, I see what stock. I don't know what stocks on Spaces are. Most top investors, traders on X are part of these spaces. Oh, I have no idea. Yeah, I'll look into it. I mentioned Clove on there once, and I was laughed at. A big investor replied, "You just got duped by." yeah, these people don't know. I made most of my money when other people did not want to invest, and these people will all be laughed at if they can prove their business model, which they're showing that they can. You already start to see Clover Health, biggest business turnaround. Let's see. I agree with you, Benjamin Walker. I ended up changing it to increasing the revenue. I just was was trying to be conservative. Okay. Okay. But I ended up changing it, and then I used the upper number. Okay, good. All right. So now that we went ahead, I read all the comments, wanted to make sure if there's any questions. I love you all a lot. I am going to be doing the live tomorrow for the Clover earnings. If you enjoy this, and if you've lasted this long, please go ahead and smash that like button hard, because it does help with the YouTube algorithm. You know what I mean? And please subscribe if you haven't done so. As you can see, this is not your typical channel here, guys. Okay, I don't do bullshit surface level analysis where I'm just flipping through charts. This is real, deep, fundamental analysis. Okay. And I have a platform that I built and I coded myself. Okay. We do have a SaaS sale going on. It'll be in the below description for individuals that want access to all the data that I showed you. And that's it, guys. You know, I love you all. God bless you. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to go work out right now. And then I'm going to go kiss my beautiful dog right now. He's over there. He's looking at me with his freaking beautiful freaking face. Love you. All right. Actually, you want to come here? Come here. I can't see you guys, but you guys can see me. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh. All right, guys. Here's my baby boy. How are you? Give me a kiss. Oh, look at that. Look at him. He threw up today. You okay? All right, guys. I love you a lot. You don't want me anymore? You're going to die. Okay. All right. You can't do a trust fall. If you fall, you're going to get hurt. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. He trusts me too much. All right. Hold on. All right. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're going to... He's going to fall. Jesus Christ. He's like standing up on the chair. God damn, this guy's a daredevil. Okay, sorry, guys. Love you all. Let me see if I can end this. Can I end the stream? It's not even showing me I can end it. I can't even end it. Let's see. All right. So now I can see everything. That's weird. Silly computer. I'm going to end it while I still have an opportunity. Okay. All right, guys. Love you all a lot. Yep. Change it after. Excellent. Excellent. Good, good, good. Dude, this dog he's about to do a trust fall right now. All right. Love you all. And I will see you tomorrow. God bless you all. Okay.